Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marquee Gaming this evening as we get ready for our 57th session of Mystical Mishaps. And it's good to see everyone inspiring each other in the chat. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. You all are awesome. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you and are glad you could join us this day. Let's get to know our players. We're going to send over to Rachel so you can introduce your character. Go for it, Rachel.
Hi. Sorry, I'm painting my nails. I'm done with this nail. Okay, hello. Hi, my name is Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find all of my art and different stuff over at Pip400art on Instagram. That is kind of the only social media place I like to post at this point, just because everything else is confusing me. And I also stream art here on Mondays at 3:30 CST. So you can come hang out with me tomorrow, and I will be streaming. I don't know what I'll be streaming though. I have a few like random sketches and I have a commission, so like who knows, whatever. But hang out, it'll be fun. For this stream, I am playing Eleonora. She is an Aasimar warlock, level 6. Can reap souls now, so that's kind of fun. And is pretty angsty, like what Tim said in chat earlier. So I think for good reason, but we're also at a -3 penalty modifier for everything, which in roleplay terms means she's a little bit of a nightmare to deal with. So I apologize for anything that will happen in this stream. In advance, I mean, I love you all.
If you just came back from the dead, it's understandable. You're going to be grumpy for a few days.
Especially if your death kind of annihilated your entire home.
That's one of the most real things about D&D, I think.
People.
Is that penalty.
It's grumpiness?
The penalty for 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like recovery period.
Yeah. It's one of the most real things.
I think 4 days is kind of generous, too. Like, it's like if I actually got from the dead, I'd be like, at least for a few weeks, I'd be out and grumpy.
Like, it's time for me time for a while to recover.
Okay.
Mike, read some accounts of people who have been resuscitated.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know the funny thing? I was in my head. I was like, "There's like no, like you don't come back from the dead." And I was like, "Wait, there's like a really big book about that." Never mind.
Anyways, we're gonna pass it over to our second player tonight, which is Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Winnie, the Kitharak monk, who is level 6. Why do I always forget every single week? I don't know why. Yeah, level 6. And who is excited to see, not excited like fun excited, but excited as in like anxiety excited to see if there's something bad about to happen or if it's just normal and we panicked over nothing. So I'm anxious to find out. See.
We will see shortly here. But we got to introduce our last two players, starting off with Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley. I also make art. I think I'm going to post some art on Instagram this week as well. So everyone come to Instagram and look at Rachel's art.
Do it.
I play Euphemia in this game. She's a human druid. She's coming in hot. She's mad and she's frustrated and she's tired of hags being bullies. So I think she's ready to do some things. We'll see if that's a good thing or not.
Yes, we shall see here. And our fourth player this evening, we have Mike. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name's Michael, also known as Bardic Dice on all the socials. I've been told I come in a little too hot in my intros lately, so we're gonna try something else this week. I also stream D&D on Twitch and YouTube. If you like ASMR, maybe we can talk about it. But this week, we run a bi-weekly stream. It's every other week, 7:30 CST. This week is going to be Fates Apart, which is our offline game, which we'll be revealing our next episode, which is super fun because it just crashed. And sorry, there's a little too much energy. I apologize. Wow. But definitely see what's going on there. And in the weeks that we don't do that, we are live with Call of the Netherdeep with Sessifire, Kojak, and Top Down Tabletop. It sounds like a radio blast. I'm kind of having fun with this.
You sound like the guy from Parks and Rec who is like the weird jazz, like jazz plus jazz equals jazz, and it's like that horrible like
jazz plus jazz equals
jazz.
But today, I played Deveril. He's a level 6 Artificer 4 Wizard 2 Gauntlet Boy without spell slots and super scared of actually doing magic right now because of stuff. So, see what happens.
Why be afraid of doing magic, guys? That sounds like fun. But yeah, go give Bardic Dice a follow if you haven't on both Twitch and his YouTube. And check out his content on both those platforms. And I'm Mark. I am the Dungeon Master here. And we do have Twitch and YouTube as well. So if you're watching on the other, come to the other maybe and say hey sometime. It'd be great to see you there. Or comment or whatever. Whatever platform you're on, do the thing that makes it so we can say hey to you there. That'd be great to connect with you. But I don't have a lot of announcements. Just think we can get into today's session and rip off the band-aid on this session. So why don't we get started off with our intro? All right, friends, we are back and ready to get into our session this evening. Why don't we start this off with our intro while everyone brings in the redemptions that have been turned on. The party appeared in or near Heaven's Reach, and they found Eleonora resurrected and not feeling so well herself. But the party's all alive, which is good, and they believe that they're in this alternate timeline that they've been speaking of. So they connect with Edison there, and make plans to meet up with him and potentially have him teleport them to Yellowfield in hopes of meeting with the wizard there, Hunric, and maybe getting some answers from him. But they travel a little bit. They eventually arrive at an inn where they're going to meet up, and then they get teleported to Yellowfield, and Edison takes off as he has things to attend to. But the party begins to notice this energy in the air that concerns them. And they approach the tower, this tall tower that's located outside of town. And this is the first time they've seen it intact, actually, as well. They went up to the door and knocked on the door. I believe Dav was the one who went up to it and gave it a good old knock on the door. But let's see what we got here. Ash, you got your advantage die. Kelly, you got yours. Mike, you got yours. Rach, you have yours. All of you get your advantage die.
Thank
Turn
you.
this on.
Gonna need it.
Thank you.
And turn those on. Let's see, we have a raise and a lower, so I'll just roll those both right now. All right. It's one of those rare times that the raise is actually... Actually, no, wait. Never mind. The raise is lower. I looked at it wrong. And the chat blessing. Let's see who gets that as well. It is Ashley.
Thank you.
All right. So that was up at the door. Give it a knock.
I like hustle in behind him. Damage.
So you're like right behind him at the door.
Yeah.
He just turns
Okay.
and looks at her. Just kind of like a,
Yeah, there's like
Okay.
these stairs that come up to this doorway as it's a little raised up this floor where the first door is. And you wait a few seconds. The door swings open. And standing before you is a familiar face of a tall, half-orc individual who just sort of looks down at you all. This is Brel, if you guys remember from the Exterminators. He looks down at all of you. What do you want?
Hello. We were hoping to speak with Mr. Henrik Stevens.
And who are you?
We are called the Horde Hunters. We are a monster hunter group.
I've never heard of you. Where are you from?
Oh, all over. Lakeside potentially is where we had much of our ties.
I also think Mr. Stevens would be interested in hearing some of our past experiences with Mishaps. We've heard that he potentially has been researching on that, and we have some important information that I think he would like.
Just can't wait till morning.
Well, I think my companions here were a bit concerned. We tend to trigger mishaps more often than the average individual, and we can feel them. And as soon as we arrived here, we felt the possibility of it increase, and so we were a bit worried if Mr. Stevens is working on anything. The possibilities of encountering a mishap might have increased exponentially.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Look at that.
Oh, good job, Eleonora.
Yeah, Eleonora's like, I guess we're doing this.
We
She's
needed
ready.
that too.
Yes.
That was amazing.
So it would be a 30.
17, I'm just kidding.
It
Yeah,
would be
it
a
would be a
30.
30,
Oh.
but with the -3, it's a 27.
Such a failure.
I know,
It's
it's
a
not
letdown.
that good.
DC was 30, so
Mean.
so he just looks at you. Wait here. Closes the door in front of you.
If anything, we should just advise him to be cautious while we're here. I think that will be better. Even if he doesn't want to speak more today.
Yes.
Are we just laying it out, by the way?
I don't know,
It
so
depends.
I would assume just
Yeah, I
be
mean,
careful.
I do have that recipe.
Yes. The recipe.
that's probably, yeah.
I think giving as much information as we're able is probably smart. We just have to be careful of our sources.
If he seems like he doesn't want to talk tonight, I think the minimum is we should advise him to be cautious about
Right.
magic while we're here.
Of course.
Real wizard, though.
I mean, you've met a few wizards. A real one. Is it because he has a tower?
I've never understood the wizard tower.
Oh.
He's like a professional wizard.
I do think it's like a business card for a professional wizard, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a ranch, though. Just like one level, but...
Mark. Listening to his doorbell camera.
It's like these dorks. What are they doing?
Guys, wait a
I'm
little
very
bit.
intrigued about the second stairs, though.
Wait a little while. Wait a little while. And door opens up again. Brel steps out, closes the door behind him. Just need to wait a little bit. I'll see you shortly.
Of course.
Thank you.
He just like stands there with his arms crossed in front of the door, just looking at all of you.
Does he look any different than when we saw him in a drop?
That's a good question.
Not really. He's dressed a
Okay.
little differently, but overall, basically the same. It's less explorer-y looking, you know?
Mm.
More like guard type of a thing, but yeah, he looks basically the same.
How long have you been working for Mr. Stevens?
Long enough.
That's a long time. Have you guys, like, are you named yet as a group, or like security team or anything?
I have a name, yes.
Oh, what are you thinking? Took us a while to come up with what on this.
No, I have a name that my parents gave
Oh,
me.
you. Oh no, I meant as a group, like together.
What are you talking about?
Fascinating.
No,
wait.
What are you talking about? He just like kind of steps up to you, like almost
Yeah,
intimidating
like,
you.
and Eleanor's like...
Sorry.
He is wondering if you ever... He is enamored with monster hunting. He is wondering if you've ever considered it. You look very tough. I'm sure that is what it is.
Like if I ever started one without them, you'd be like first pick.
What do you mean by group, though?
Typically don't monster hunt alone. I wouldn't.
Again, what do you mean by group?
We have heard that there are a few others that work for Mr. Stevens. We have heard that it was him that we need to talk to because of this mishap affliction that we have. So, we did a bit of research. That's all he's saying.
Give me another persuasion roll.
That's like shoot.
Cocked.
Trying to do small talk.
I'm using my advantage.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay.
17.
Sort of looks at you, looks at Dav. From Lakeside, you say?
That is where we did most of our work. We're all from all over.
Who you work with in Lakeside?
The Watchlight a bit. Vari from the college.
City itself, they had some jobs hired.
Mm-hmm.
They're all talking. If I'm like looking up at the tower,
Mm-hmm.
is there like anything in the, like, are there windows? I can't remember. Are there windows?
There are no windows that you see
Not
on
really.
the tower.
Okay. Do I hear anything? Or is it pretty soundproof?
I would say you don't hear anything coming from the tower, but you do feel that general
Okay.
buzzing sense that you've had.
I would be kind of tuned in. Yeah, I'd be tuned into that to see if it's like increasing, decreasing, changing at all while we're waiting.
Yeah, it feels about the same at this point.
Okay.
Brel just kind of stands there with his arms folded in front of the door, kind of glaring at Dav now.
I'm sure Dev already knows, but Eleanor just kind of puts a hand on her shoulder, like, we're done talking, but it's time to be done.
Just quietly wait.
But you wait, 10 minutes go by, maybe 15 minutes. Just that uncomfortable silence too as he stares at you. And about 20 minutes or so, a little after 20 minutes, you hear some footsteps from people coming behind down the slope. And you look back, and you see both Alanis and Rolim coming down together from Yellowfield's direction. And Burrell straightens up a little bit. He sees them.
Are they coming from the city?
They're
No.
coming from Yellowfield, yes.
Oh, okay.
That direction.
Mm-hmm.
Same direction you guys came from.
Gotcha.
We got Raise and a
Shit.
chat blessing too. Let's get that.
Makes a lot of sense. An adventuring group just showed up at someone's door and they're like, yeah, we'll wait for security to show up.
Totally.
The blessing goes to Mike.
Probably need it. Thanks. Yeah, just scoop my stuff out. Scoop some dirt out. I can't talk. I'm just not gonna talk.
But
I'm like overthinking this.
they start walking towards the stairs, and Brell's just like, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!"
The way.
Move, brother.
Yeah, we just moved.
Motion up the stairs.
Roland just kind of like looks at you guys and walks up, and Alanis just smiles to you all as she passes and begins to walk up the stairs.
Do they seem? Yeah. Do they seem annoyed?
You can roll an insight if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, I will too. That's good.
25.
Okay.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Roland definitely does not seem very happy to be coming out here, and Alanis just seems like she's
You interrupted
coming
date
along.
night.
But
Probably.
Roughly, what time
Okay.
of the night is this again? I know it's later.
it's a little after sunset. It's not too late.
Okay, so it's not like midnight or anything.
It's not like
right?
me.
No.
Game out of bed,
Yeah.
just-
That's what I was thinking. All of a sudden, I was like, "Wait,
Yeah.
I don't know if we are like rushing in at midnight and being like, what?"
Yeah, it's just shortly after sunset, so
Okay.
it's
Sure.
evening-ish time.
They just got off work, got home, took off their shoes, and then got called back in. So.
I had to put right back. Yeah, shoes back
Yeah.
on.
But both
Do they?
Roland and Alana start heading inside.
Okay. The other thing I'd be looking at as they walked up is if they have any of that dark wispy stuff around them.
Mm.
Give me a wisdom check.
Save or
Check.
check?
Wisdom check.
I'm gonna use my bless.
This is fun music, by the way.
Yeah.
13.
You kind of like look
the
and
name of it,
squint a
actually.
little bit. And I picked that name intentionally for tonight. Kind of squint and look, but you don't notice anything.
Never
But
roll as high on that as I want to.
They walk inside. Brell's still standing at the front door, just kind of staring at all of you. He looks like he's really observing each of you too, like just like looking at all your weapons and all your gear and just taking a note of everything.
I was just like, yeah, number one pick. Definitely.
At this point, with like standing so long too, Eleanor is probably leaning a little wearily against like the banister or something.
Yeah,
you know?
makes sense. But eventually, the door opens again behind Brell, and he looks back and rolling like motions, and Brell's like,
Ladies.
"All right, come on in," and he'll turn to walk inside.
I'll go in.
The ladies going first.
If Eleanor is like, if she looks very weary, I will offer you my elbow just quietly as we walk up.
Oh, that's nice. I'll link it for sure.
Okay.
Very
Gloved
weak
hand and everything.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta pet the
Yeah.
hand totally. Yeah.
So who goes in first?
Us
Or both
two,
of us.
I suppose. Yeah.
Be in the middle then. That's fine.
Dav at the rear. Okay.
Mhm.
So as you walk in, there's this kind of circular chamber that you enter into, and it's got a little bit of a table off to the side. It looks like for sitting and waiting, and then there's a slight up step that goes to like almost like a sort of split level. Like it's just a small step up though, and there's a spiral staircase at the center of that. As you look, and both Alanis and Rolium are positioned flanking the staircase up the upper level, and Brell's kind of standing closer to the door as you walk in. And
Formations.
you hear as you're kind of welcomed in, Dab comes in and he closes the door behind you. Some footsteps coming down, and there's almost like a faint like trumpet sounds that starts playing as you hear these footsteps kind of pink,
Okay.
pink, pink on all the stone stepways down the stairs.
I was about to have a new crush.
And before you is this robed wizard. He looks old, he looks disheveled as he approaches, and when he turns you can finally see his face. He's got a little crazed look in his eye as well as he appears.
Oh, buddy.
I'm gonna
I
have
had to
to.
draw this like 8 months ago.
His arm is like right in my face here.
Oh my gosh. That's true. He's pointing at you.
I'm gonna move him to the other side just
Yeah,
because
move him to the other side.
'Cause
That makes more sense.
it's right in
It's a
my
little
face.
aggressive.
Let me move this guy over here.
I feel like
And
this guy has many conspiracy theories.
Oh, he's full of them. He lives
Oh
on
my
them.
God.
That's his sustenance.
There we go.
Yes.
So he comes down. He's got this big
Looks like
smile
he's
on his
leaning in
face.
to like lecture you, Mark.
Got like a light, nice leaner, like. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
But he comes down and like the trumpet kind of as he's like coming down. Hello, welcome to my tower. You are the horde hunters, I hear, right? Horde hunters. Is that what it? Is that correct? Yes, horde
Yes,
hunters.
correct.
Yes.
You're correct.
Wonderful. What are all your names besides horde hunters?
My name is Eleanor. This is Davril.
Daverborza. Hi.
Oh, wait, hold up. Pause. Alanis. And she's just like, please, willingly submit to the spell, and she begins to cast a spell. Do you guys willingly submit to the spell?
Well,
For now, yeah. I mean, not for now. I guess it's yes or no. Yes.
Is everyone
Inject it later.
Yeah.
giving a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the spell gets cast. And this energy kind of covers each of you as you are all compelled to tell the truth.
It was a fake name. Come on. Do it.
So
as she does that, does that energy change at all?
you don't sense anything.
Okay.
No,
Interesting.
that's good to know.
Is it different inside the tower than it was outside?
You still feel that it's pretty intense in here, honestly.
Okay. Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Oh, I
good
see what
distinction.
you're asking. The
Okay.
mishap energy.
Yep,
not
yep,
the
yep.
wisps. Okay.
Also, when we sense the energy, does it feel like it's coming from a certain, like, does it feel stronger in certain directions, or does it kind of like, can we tell a direction
just
it's coming from, or
surrounding
just
you.
in general?
Yeah, it's just surrounding
Okay,
you.
cool.
Okay. But
But
it
yeah.
didn't seem to affect the level.
You all now
I
have.
probably winced then when she was casting it, and then
You cannot speak a
Kinda
deliberate
steeled
lie
myself.
at this point, y'all.
Okay.
It's zone of truth. Is that how this is functioning?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like suggestion or something like that. It was
Mhm.
a little different.
So you feel this kind of energy over you. Now, once again, what's all your names again? You started with you.
Sure. My name is Eleanor.
Wonderful.
And this is Davriel,
Little Davro Burza.
Winifred, and Euphemia.
Hello, I'm Hunric.
It's very
It's a
nice to meet
pleasure.
you. We've heard much about you.
Been wanting to meet for quite some time, actually.
Oh, really? You've heard about me?
We have. Yes.
Who'd you hear about me
Much,
from?
actually. Well,
Hmm.
here's where it gets a little bizarre, Mr. Stevens. I don't know if you ever keep up with some of the news going on in the outside world these days.
What outside world, am I right?
Well,
Dab laughs a little too hard at that one. It's an academic joke.
we heard about your tower because where we are from, your tower exploded.
Just like looks to Alanis for a second. Just nods. Interesting. That's really interesting. Tell me more. Tell me
Yes.
everything now.
Didn't realize this would actually go in our benefit. Yeah, this is good.
You're right. Well, we are from a different version of this world.
Like watching his face eagerly while
Yeah.
Eleanor does this, like intently.
Mm-hmm.
And in this version, your tower on June 15th blew up in some sort of spell you were casting. I don't know what it was. Your employees were not in the tower at the time and survived the blast, and unfortunately, as far as we know, you did not. But what remained of your tower was a crack, about 50 feet wide, entirely made of mishap energy. And
Both of all the magics or none of the magics at the same time.
yes,
If you detect magic.
all existing at once.
So you study the mishap energy.
Yes.
Are you experts?
Right. Self-proclaimed, but we're trying to be.
Not experts
Or-
at all, but victims. Victims, I would say.
I'm not aware
Victims?
about others than us.
What does that mean,
Yes.
victims?
Well, when the four of us submitted to a monster hunting ritual in Heaven's Reach a few months ago, and this was not here, it was in the other place, there was a mishap that occurred that seemed to bind us all together. And now we can feel mishap energy. We can feel it now. We can feel it when it rises as probability.
How did this start? Say it again. I want to make sure I track with everything.
Oh, this started with a ritual, with a spell. A mishap triggered it.
Apparently
I
a
see.
ritual to test our blood for potential and
Yes.
skills with magic and potential.
When was this?
We haven't.
That's was it 3 or 4 months ago?
Something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or 2 months ago, something like that. And in
Which-
well,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No.
I was just going to say, ever since that point, if you would like to look at our research, myself and Winnie here has been documenting every single mishap that has occurred to us at a higher rate than most others.
Like
And they
we're
happen a
talking
lot.
7 to 8 in a minute if we are fighting a monster, let's say.
That is quite a lot. Yes.
It is a lot. Not to mention a new development that as we have been bopping around the two different timelines, when we're in the original one with that mishap crack where you died, when one of us dies, it reacts. Another crack forms, the person that died is resurrected, and then we end up back here.
The cost of many other lives.
It tore apart Heaven's Reach,
And
tore apart
cities.
Shadow Rock.
I
In
see.
the other place.
Fascinating.
There is one more aspect of this that I think you would find most interesting. So, in our perspectives, that's how this all started. Your tower was already exploded. When we came to our second timeline from our perspective, however, we had never met as a group, mostly. Unfortunately, Eleanor had already had a accident before she made it to Heaven's Reach, so the three of us then met. This, when coming to Lakeside from Heaven's Reach, though, in our timeline, we had been attacked and actually saved by your compatriots and lived. However, in that timeline, they were not there because they're still employed by you. Actually, are right now employed by you.
Here.
And we were killed. So we died here. We were actually, some of us are buried at Lakeside.
Yeah.
That
So-
is the version
the-
of us that
Right.
belongs to this timeline, if that makes sense.
And
So we have two
Interesting.
parallel timelines.
We're technically from the other one.
We are from the other one.
And I do
The
know-
versions
one we are
belong
there.
to here.
I got it.
In
I
this
think
one, we are
I
dead.
got it.
Yeah.
You're tracking. All
Oh,
right, perfect.
yes, I'm tracking.
And we do have proof of a conversation with your cleric here.
Well,
That's-
let's see it.
I take it out. It's like right in the middle of the mishaps on that page, and I hand it forward and be like, we asked for you to write something that only you would know, and hand it forward, so that if we did meet you in this timeline, it would help back up our exotic and crazy story.
She'll take a look at the paper with the pie recipe on it. I believe that's right.
I think it was a pie
Yeah.
recipe. Yeah.
We've yet to try it yet. Sorry.
And she looks down at it and this is my pie recipe, and they're speaking the truth. And he just, oh, that's so amazing! I can't believe this. This is the best news I've ever received. Wow.
Oh, I'm so
Cool.
glad.
You
much
all don't
better
plan
than
to harm me, right? You don't plan to harm me in any way, correct? I need to hear
No,
all of you say
we-
yes.
we want-
That you're no, you're not.
Well,
If
well, wait,
anything,
which one
no.
do you want us to say?
Yes, yes or
Eleanor?
no?
Eleanor, are you gonna harm me?
Of course not. No.
Winifred, are you gonna harm me?
No.
Euphemia, are you gonna harm me?
No, I think we would like your help.
Dev, are you gonna harm me? Devril,
No.
sorry.
We're here to hopefully make sure you don't harm yourself.
Yeah, we wanted to catch you before, because the other one, your tower blew up, and so we wanted to make sure it didn't happen here if we could help it. So at least letting you know, maybe you could stop it from happening.
Well,
There's-
let's get out of the entryway then. I'll take you upstairs and we can talk up there. I need to find out more about what's going on here. Yes.
Oh, sure. Yes. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Come
How
along,
did the
everybody.
exterminators look about all this like information?
Yeah,
Are they like,
Yeah,
"Ugh," or are they like fine with it?
You can roll an insight roll if you'd like.
Okay.
23.
Ooh, nice. 16.
Okay. So you both are picking up on kind of some like glances back and forth between them, especially between Alanis and Rolling. It's definitely odd seeming to them, but
Sure.
But the wizard seemed very excited. He's like,
oh, he seems very
thrilled, right?
excited.
He's okay,
just-
not
He
even like,
seems over the top excited.
best day.
okay.
Best day ever.
Wow.
A small like twitch is forming at Eleanor's face. I'm sure it reminds her of Arthur a little bit of the
Oh.
like, look at this. Ah!
The enthusiasm.
Yeah, the enthusiasm when something's
Aw.
breaking through.
So he begins to lead you up the stairs, and as you go, you hear the as he's walking up the stairs. Little
We
trumpet
make
sound.
Like, a little bit, like,
Is it like a motion sensor?
It unfortunately does not happen as you guys go up. You hear it as he's walking up.
Aw,
okay.
this is for him. That's
This
okay.
is actually really cool. I want this one day.
Yeah, he goes up, and then Alanis and Rolling will follow, and then you all would go up, and then Brell is going to come up behind.
At about halfway up, Dav kind of like leans, like turns back to see that they're like in following like that. I'm like, you guys are so well coordinated. You're gonna have to let us know about like how you come up with these formations and coordination. We got to work on that a little bit. It's really good.
Just stares at you.
Okay.
I think as we're moving through this tower, I'm just gonna take in as much as I can about anything that looks interesting or
Yeah,
details
same.
or
Kind of looking around.
if there's anything to see, I guess. But
So he leads you up to the second floor. It looks sort of like a living room chamber. There's a fireplace that's going. That's with a crackling fire, and some chairs, like a table where it looks like meals could be had. And a room off to the side that just looks like some sort of restroom type facility. And as Hugo says, this way, and he leads you over, and there's a rune on the ground that is located, and he steps into it. He's like, everybody crowd in, come on.
Do we recognize the rune at all? Does it seem
yeah, I was just
familiar?
gonna say.
You can give me an investigation roll.
Cool.
PTSD flashbacks from rune on the ground.
I know. 8. Probably not great.
What was I rolling for?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Oh,
25.
also 9.
25,
24.
Nice.
Good job, guys.
So, from your memory, this does give similar vibes to what you saw kind of centered in the crack back at the tower that you saw. So
That's what I was wondering. Okay. Yep.
Epicenter.
excuse me?
This is like the symbol we saw in the bottom of your exploded tower.
Oh yeah, it was this one. We got close to it.
This is
and
how I get around the tower. This is what I use to get to different levels of the tower.
You teleport
Yeah.
around your tower?
Yes.
Does it trigger a spell? Like, is this going to be potential for a bad mishap?
Oh, this is definitely a spell. Come on, get in here.
Right. No. Right. We're feeling like your place is surrounded by magical fireworks that have not been lit yet. Every time a spell happens, like a match could go off.
That sounds really
normally I'd be
intriguing.
like, I know,
I
I'm
love
right
fireworks.
there with you, but maybe not when like the entire warehouse of them are in your room. You know.
Well, we didn't feel any change when
Does it feel?
she
Yeah,
cast
does it
her
feel?
spell.
Well,
does
honest
it
casters
feel right
probably
now to
didn't.
us?
I didn't feel a difference, but
Nothing seemed to happen with that.
Okay.
I mean, we did just teleport with Edison, but
there was a mishap on that.
All right.
You all step in?
Yeah. We'll still.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's roll. for
Close
this.
your eyes.
Grab Winnie's hand
Yeah.
just in case.
Waiting for it to be over.
Okay. So there is a bit of a poof of energy that you guys feel. And it does feel a little bit like your mishap energy happening as the spell happens. Let me look at this. I need to roll for something.
Uh-oh.
It's
It's like a bunch of sticks of dynamite in an elevator.
basically.
We just Willy Wonka go flying up in the air.
Oh boy.
And yeah, this kind of like burst of pink energy happens around you as the rune activates. All of you feel like you're getting transferred somewhere else, like the teleport spell. And as you appear now in another location, you look and there's another spiral staircase that goes up, and there's like a room off to the side with a door, and you notice now there is a pink bit of energy that's swarming around Hunrik. He just kind of looks at it as like, haha, isn't that cute? Come
This is
along!
not new.
And he just starts going up the stairs.
Does this happen to you?
Oh, all the time. Come on.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
this is normal.
Is the pink anything normal that we've seen before, or is it like pink specifically to mishap type energy?
It looks like mishap energy. Come along,
That's
come along.
normal, or like specifically that
Mishaps
energy?
happen all the time, Gavril. Come along, come along.
So excited to be here, just as much as I'm afraid, and just start talking more.
Ooh, someone wants to raise the mishap level. Look at that.
Oh boy.
Guys, there is a time and a place.
We'll just grab the live wire.
Oh, look at that. I already have a blessing
around.
too, so that's also
Look
goes in
at
the
that.
mishap level.
Look at that.
Oh boy.
You guys do feel a bit of a spike of mishap energy at this point. Sweat starts dribbling down all your foreheads.
Yep. That's
Especially after like just
take
being
deep
you know,
breaths.
But he begins to
goodbye,
walk up the
Smarties,
stairs.
to the sun.
Hunark begins to fall up the stairs with this pink energy just swirling around him as he goes up. And Alanis and Rolim will follow. And Brel just kind of like looks to all of you like, get going.
We're taking the stairs this time, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll follow for sure.
I'll keep
we'll
going.
go.
But he goes up, and when you arrive at the top, this whole floor looks like it is sort of like a wizard's laboratory. There are bookshelves that line up in a desk that's there. There's tables that are just strewn with books everywhere and papers all over the place. The more perceptive of the group, like Euphemia, you would see over in one of the corners, kind of tucked away too, is the skull of a dragon that is just tucked away. It doesn't look like it's like an ancient dragon, but it's still pretty big. Maybe like an adult dragon-ish in size.
Since I'm still standing near Winnie, I might just nudge you and kind of indicate it since you like monsters and stuff.
Okay, I'll like. She'll kind of like look over and like. Can I tell what kind of dragon like it is, or like what? I don't know.
You can roll me. We'll do a nature check.
Okay, what's my nature? I already forget. Okay, nothing. Nothing. 4. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
it's a skull. You don't see any scales or anything on it, so it's.
It's a cool skull, though. Okay. I'll look at it. Yeah, does it? I guess like is as we, because we're on. Do we like get the idea that we're like high up, like 3rd floor or something,
You have
or do we
no
just?
clue.
that we're
There's
just
no
somewhere else?
windows. You
Okay.
are just in the tower somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
Potentially, unless there's a basement.
You guys have no clue where you are in this tower at this point. I will say though, maybe something that gives you an indicator is there a door that you notice, and you remember there was a door at the top of the tower.
Ah, yes.
So,
Yeah.
So we're
so
in
there
here.
is a
Okay,
door,
that's
so
fun.
perhaps that could be something, but nothing guaranteed. But he kind of walks around and just, all right, mishaps. This is where I study them.
Is he still
See, what
What do you
swirly?
do to study them?
Like pink swirly?
What do I do to study them?
Yeah, like how do you study them?
I try to connect with the flow of magic in this land, and I test my magic abilities and try to delve into the world that we live in even deeper and understand this energy that flows through it. You can feel it, right? You can feel that energy, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very buzzing right now.
Yes, it is.
So
Do you
can
ever have-
feel it as well?
Yes, of course, yes.
Well, how did you get to feel it? Because we did not feel it until the mishap triggered it.
I mean, I live right on top of it.
What do you mean you live on top of it?
The energy, I
There's a
feel it.
source?
It's right here. Like if I walk away, I don't feel it as much, but right here. It's
You're
strong.
saying this
Did
is
you
the source
find-
of the mishaps.
The source? No. The source of the mishaps is the flow of magic. But here
Has
I
mishap
feel that
energy always
energy.
been?
It's the best place to study
Has it always been on this? Has
Wait,
it always
sorry.
been on this tower specifically, or no?
Wait,
No.
can we wait really fast? I didn't know what he said, and then you talked, and then I missed everything that was just talked about. Can we rewind really fast?
Oh,
Sure.
sorry.
Talking, yeah.
So he says this is like the flow of magic is where mishaps come from. But he can feel
But
it
what
here.
was he talking about being on top of it?
He just feels the energy here.
This is where the energy is
Okay.
like
Like
A lot.
central or something? Okay.
It comes
thank
and
you.
goes,
Sorry,
it
Ken.
comes and goes. But I feel it very strong tonight. Perhaps it's fate that you come here this evening.
Did you build your tower here before you felt the mishap energy, or after you discovered that you felt it here?
I built this tower a long time ago before there was any mishaps.
And then did something change when the shutter happened? Did you feel it then, right away?
That is when magic broke. Very clearly.
Yes.
Disrupted everything. And then it never was fixed properly. That's when I felt it.
So is your goal trying to fix it then?
Of course.
And what do you mean by broken? How do you feel that?
And at this point, the pink energy dissipates and kind of wisps off. He's like, ah.
Honestly, a little relieved.
And we all just see like the flame
Yeah.
that could ignite
Yeah.
everything.
What was your question?
So you say the flow of magic here is broken. How did you come to discover that, or how do you feel or see that? And why wouldn't anyone else fix it?
You need to have a very strong connection to magic to sense it and understand it on a deep level. Very few possess that kind of power. Very few. It is something I've studied intensely. I love to study this. It is quite fascinating. Magic flows throughout all of existence, every which direction, reaching the corners. Some places are completely void of magic, as no magic lines cross there, where others have heavy, strong flows of magic. This place is one that is quite strong. That is why this world was created, to build upon that magic convergence that is here. And you can
Yes, I
feel
did
it,
hear
that
this.
energy, when you're here. That is why wizards have come from all over to study here.
Oh, have they?
Oh yes, that's why this world was created.
Or wizards?
Oh,
came
yes,
to
you mean
create
the
it?
entire plane, not your tower specifically.
Correct.
Oh, yes, yes.
So then, again, how do you know it's broken, per se?
So here specifically, it did not seem to be righted. It's like a crack or a splinter has gone off. The flow of something. Imagine maybe a river as it flows, but then a chunk of the shore breaks off and shoots out as it spurts more of this water off to the shore. It is broken here. And because of
So you're
that,
saying it needs to be redirected.
it needs to be restored to get the flow back online.
I mean, that
Would
is
you-
definitely the goal, because in the place that we're from, not only is it when we die that the cracks are forming in the world, but it is when lots of magic is being cast, it seems to follow about us and your employees in the other world.
Another blessing goes to me. That goes to the mishap level as we're up to extreme, y'all.
A good place to sit in this tower. Oh yeah.
The magic needs to be restored. When there is too much energy that is exerted, too much demand that comes from the magic of this plane, it can potentially cause worse damage to occur.
What do you mean by that?
It's already weakened. The walls, the integrity of it are not strong. So if more gets pushed through, more may splinter off.
That is what it seems like there.
And then anything
it's
could come
happening
through.
almost-
Anything could come through and it breaks out.
Yes, there's been creatures that have come through already. Mishap creatures.
And here.
Yes, most certainly. There's dangers that can come from this, which is why it must be fixed.
That doesn't surprise you, though.
I've been studying this for years. Ever since the Shudder, this has been my focus.
So
You predicted this, essentially.
I did not predict it. I am responding to try to fix it.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
well, what is causing creatures to come from it? I mean, that didn't. I mean, they're made of the same energy. I mean, they seemed. The one that we encountered was actually here in Yellowfield in the other timeline, and it seemed to mimic our movements and respond to our strategies. It seemed. I don't know about intelligent, but mimicking at least.
Magic is alive. It has its own life force to it. It has its own will. We just wield it. But it is alive. And it can do as it pleases. Alana steps forward. Sir, and... Oh yes, everyone! And she's like, please submit again. And she goes to cast a spell once more.
Oh boy.
Do you all
please be careful.
willingly submit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we just say we're telling the truth? Normally, I'm really good about not caring about this. We just have so many questions we want answered before anything happens.
You guys feel a spike of energy as it is there's another mishap that happens. Thankfully the energy kind of dips down a little bit at this point, but you watch as all of your pockets just begin to like feel like they're weighed down now.
Okay.
What's in there?
I'll look at them.
And you reach in, and as you do, like, you push your hand in, and you hear this, like, tick-tick-tick on the stonework beneath, as falling out are all these dried beans. Shiv, this is your mishap.
It's the Bean Boy!
There
We're
are-
near the Bean Boy!
It's in front of Bean Boy!
Oh!
And Bean Boy is here. So,
Ah! Shiv!
This is the best possible timing for this.
so
That's incredible.
Your pockets are
This
just
was all
filled
you,
with beans.
girl.
Like, anything that was in your pocket is just surrounded by beans at this point. It is just beans in all your pockets. And
So
he just reaches in
good.
and just, beans! And just puts them on the table
Yeah,
and
yeah. This one could have been real worse, actually. Yeah.
Roland like takes one out and just pops it in his mouth.
Approved by Bean Boy himself.
Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Alright.
So, do you think you're making progress? Like, to figure it out?
I'm working on it, yes. It is quite difficult though, as I cannot plane shift anymore.
Yes.
It has really put a problem in my studies.
What were you doing before? Where were you going to help you?
Everywhere. I was searching the ancient archives of Rise and other places of magical study, schools across the plains to try to understand this. But now I'm stuck here, unable to progress in my studies.
Mr. Stevens, that is another notable difference between the two timelines. So on June 15th, that or whatever day. I don't know what should I call it, Mark? I mean, do we say June? Do we say the 15th?
Just say 6:15.
I don't know.
6:15.
So, okay, sure. So on 6:15, in our timeline, your tower blew up, and on that exact day, that was when planar travel and communication with the gods shut off here. So it seems that they are connected. And in our timeline, gods can be contacted still. Planar travel exists. It's possible.
Perfect. You can aid me then.
Well, I don't know if we can leave. I mean, what we have, it might be like a disease. We don't want to spread it to anyone else.
Do you have people who you know who can leave?
Yes,
You can connect with them, right?
I can. Yes.
Perfect. This is perfect. And he goes and like scrolling some notes down. We may be able to fix this now.
When you say you want to fix the borders, essentially, of magic, with what exactly?
We need to mend those edges. Figure out why they broke in the first place and mend it so that the flow can be restored to its proper flow.
Do you have any theories as to what broke it, aside from the shut itself? I know, but I mean, do you have anything else that you're thinking?
At this point, it's hard to tell. There are many things that could cause it. And I do not have the resources to figure that out on my own. But I have so many things I'm working on.
What would the resources be then? I mean, we can't even study the crack, or else it'll kill us. I don't even understand how we could get to a place to even study something like this.
These cracks kill you, you say?
Most
First
people.
time felt like dying.
Well, actually, yes. So, first of all, the normal person who does not suffer from the affliction that we have, if you touch it, they are disintegrated. It is
They
pure
die.
magical energy that's too much.
That's why we were afraid of the little poof of pink magic there.
Yes. It is very dangerous. When it comes to us, we haven't willingly touched a mishap crack, but there was one night, it was about a month ago, we were here in Yellowfield in the other timeline. There was a storm, lightning, the weather seems to respond to it even. And purple lightning around the sky. We went to go check it out, and the mishap crack was reacting to us more strongly than we'd ever seen. And when we went to go try and help a downed guard that seemed to have been hurt disintegrated by the crack, the closer we got, the lightning arced out at all of us. And that was the first time that we came to this timeline. And it
But it did not
transports
kill
us.
you. It transported you?
It transported us to the middle of nowhere by Lakeside. It keeps doing that.
One thing to add, and I believe we talked about this a little bit when that first happened. Do you all remember a sense of like, for me, it was almost like wanting something to happen, or it was like responding to a need? Do you all feel that at all? Or remember feeling that?
What?
When we were sucked into that crack for the first time, did any of you feel a desire or a need, or it responding to a response? Mark, you can tell me if we didn't actually feel that. Because I know you were asking us what we wanted in that moment. Is that something we felt as a
I think
response?
you asked
to
our
the
less thought, so I just took it as a thought.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
So I was curious what you were thinking about at the time.
So was that anything that we would feel that maybe had any sort of reaction to our sentience? Or he had a theory on
That
for a
wasn't
while,
something necessarily that you would be aware of. It's more like
Okay,
my
never
curiosity of what your thought was.
but- Okay, never mind then. Yeah, okay. I was thinking it was more like it was responding to a need that we had at the moment, so. Cool. Never mind. Rewind that.
Yeah, it wasn't like a question that you were responding to.
Yeah.
It was more like me asking players.
Thematically,
Yeah.
what was happening?
For sure.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But yeah, so it felt like it was disintegrating us, and we were dying, but then we did not. We were here instead, and we were about 2 days out in the middle of a field near Lakeside. And since then, we've been teleported all over the place whenever we switch.
No
It's
control.
Random. No control.
Oh, the flow of magic is a tricky one. It seems to have chosen you, though.
Perhaps. It definitely revolves around us at this point now.
Do you have
In
any...
some ways it... Good.
My bad. No.
Just in some ways it seems that we are its doom. In some ways. Of at least our...
Doom?
Side is getting
No.
the other side is getting ripped apart. Like it's being destroyed every time something happens to us.
Well, that must mean we need to fix it faster.
I mean, that is the goal.
That's why we came
certainly.
to find you.
Good, wonderful. I'm glad you're here. We can get working on this right now.
Speaking of the sides, though, do you have any theory on how that's possible or what that means? We've had one person give us a theory of a multiverse, but I don't know if you have any takes on this or explanations.
I don't know at this point. It could be many things. Magic can do many crazy things.
Do you think it could be a copy?
Very well could be.
Can people and souls be copied, though? I mean, that's what's been hanging me up.
That would be something to look into, I think.
Another thing we should note, Mr. Stevens, that seems to be tied into this is we are the unfortunate victims of a hag curse. And it
An ancient
seems an
Complex
ancient
curse.
complex curse. Normal magic cannot fix this. We have markings on our backs, nightmares, the whole thing.
The markings
Can I
appear
see them?
after we've jumped timelines.
Interesting. Can I see your marking?
Thank you, Davril.
He just comes over and like kind of roughly puts your shirt up even more, so it's kind of uncomfortable. Ah. And you're saying these appeared when you returned?
It
Return to
seemed
the
be what
first one.
made us return. Every time we've returned to the original timeline, we have had a new marking. And it's usually
A
when we've done
development.
something to antagonize these hags.
Try
I
and
see.
solve it, or untangle it, or undo it.
Yes.
Great, she get a blessing.
Thanks!
Huh. Perhaps, well, the flow of magic is tied heavily to the dream realms. It is quite a strong connection between those two. I think that is why potentially this is so intense, is because the connection of the flow of magic and the nightmare in the dream realm. Those two were the first two gods who disappeared in the Shudder. And I think that is a big reason for what caused everything to be so much worse from that point on.
Really?
Absolutely!
Oh, that's interesting.
Mark,
This-
you're just so good.
Doing so good.
Like, you're like getting out of his seat, trying to like.
This curse directly affects my family, and it began well before the Shudder. The effects of it. So I'm not sure. After the Shudder, there was another development in the curse with another family, but only one that we know of.
Well, hags do have a connection to the nightmare realm.
Mm-hmm.
That we've heard. Are you suggesting that because of the correlation between the dream and night melt realm and magic, the reason why we are pulled back to the other timeline is because it's so connected?
Perhaps.
Does it imbalance it? Maybe?
Perhaps. Because this is not your world. You can only stay here for a certain amount of time before shoo, you're back to your own place. Or
Certainly
maybe
what it
someone
seems like.
brings you back as they need you to return. Like you're tethered by them to your home world.
Certainly what it seems like.
I mean, we have picked up on a pattern. It's whenever we find a breakthrough of more information about the hags, there's almost like a silence for a day or two. And then we are back. At random somewhere else, with an addition to the mark. It's happened twice, so maybe not completely enough of a pattern yet, but 2 times certainly. It's not a coincidence.
I see.
Wonder if they're stuck somewhere. It's like you said, if you can't plane shift, maybe they got stuck here somehow.
Interestingly enough, even though there is no plane shift here, they are still active here. Still have nightmares that are damaging people and hurting people here.
Interesting. They must be here then.
Oh, do you think they're here?
From what I can tell, outside influences do not work here. But the flow of magic does still work. So if they have a connection through the flow of magic to here, then perhaps that would be possible.
Through us. Then. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Even when we are not here, they're still causing nightmares
How
to other people.
Well,
how would
through us.
But we are not here. When we were gone, Edison was still getting nightmares.
how is it that they would know about this place? The theory sounds insane. I mean, everyone here believes us because the Watchlight compared the bodies, like there was proof. But in our timeline, there's no proof. We sound insane. So how
the
how
best
do
ones
they know
do.
about it?
Yes.
I mean, valid. But how would they know? I mean, how does anyone know that something like this exists?
You don't. This could all be in your head. This could all be in my head. None of you can be real.
Well,
All right.
I mean, one theory suggested was that this place was an illusion. I mean, I don't mean offense by it, of course. Don't want to imply that you are not existing, but that was a theory that was brought forth.
Picks up a book and drops it right on his toe. Ow! I felt it. I don't think that's a fake thing.
True.
And Eleanor, did you feel that?
Felt it, Avril.
I think we've determined if this is an illusion, it is a very elaborate one.
All right.
But
You-
Do you think
Go ahead.
we can team up.
it
You four can help me.
Would very, very much like to.
Especially if you can help us too. I mean, if we can form some sort of partnership.
Euphemia,
We
you have
don't-
something to say though. Oh, sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We all so many questions.
I know.
I just if we are we must not be the only connection that they have to this plane then, because how would that work if we're not here and they're still causing problems? Unless they just left a tether somehow.
Perhaps there's more to be uncovered. But do you agree? Would you like to help me? Work together?
Do you think you can help us manage these mishaps?
I can certainly do my best to help you. Yes, of course.
And the curse too. I mean, both of those kind of go hand in hand.
I can do my best to help you. Yes, of course.
I've had
Insight.
Go for it.
Oh, there you go.
10 with the -3.
I mean, he seems like he wants to have this working with you. He
He
seems
is
pretty excited. So.
Exciting. Yeah.
I've been working on a theoretical equation that I cannot break. That I was wondering if maybe you could, if you have any experience on it. The idea that we know a detect magic would work on the schools of magic, but it does not seem to work specifically targeting this magic. If you could either help me find a way to utilize something similar, or my second thought is I've been trying to think of developing a spell that, as he points to the cleric, I know there are different like boon and buff spells like blessings and banes. Could there be something similar that's a spell that we could use to then help lower the chances of mishaps? We actually have discovered a friend that has created technology that can do that. And I wasn't sure if you think magic could also help, like you said, redirect it.
We don't have access to the technology right now.
I will certainly be willing to help you to take care of some of your issues. You clearly are quite afraid of this mishap energy. I would love to help try to fix that for you, to control it more, to bend it to your will more.
Of
course.
Very
There's
hurtful in the
been,
middle of combat, yes.
yes, I mean, there has been too much death surrounding this already.
Of course, I'm very willing to help out.
Of course.
Plus, I've turned into a box too many times. I'd like to prevent that.
A box, you say?
It's actually your tower.
Are you aware?
That-
At my tower? Wow. Honored.
Yes. It was actually kind of relieving to not think about things for a little bit, but no, I do not think I was aware of my surroundings as a box.
So truly a box.
Oh yes, he was a doll, he was a cat, he was all sorts of things.
Got through a lot. You can see my name is next to most of those mishaps, probably. Actually, I really wish we had counted numbers. Anyways, thanks for the percentage.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, like actually keep track of numbers.
Yeah.
And who have been affected the most. I'm gonna start doing that from now on.
I don't know what it is you specifically, if you have questions you need answered potentially.
Was there a place that you were going to go before all of this happened and you couldn't travel that we could pick up your trail?
Well, I can give you a list of things that I could use to try and understand maybe what is going on, could connect with magic on a deeper level. If you're willing to go retrieve them for me.
Yes.
Well, yes, I mean, it depends on what they're on. And if it's possible, considering many things are destroyed in different locations depending on where they are. Unless you're talking about planar travel.
I believe all these things can be found here. Well, your place here or here. Either. If not, perhaps you can send somebody else to get them for you.
Sure. Yes, I mean, like what sorts of things are you thinking?
So he pulls,
Give an example.
he like holds out his hand, and like from one of the tables, like a piece of paper and a pen just like rise up out of the air, and like come over and go into his hand. He grabs the pen and starts to write. Well, the first thing that I think could be of some aid, all these things are items that naturally are imbued with more magic due to their nature. The first is an Alpha Yeti heart. It needs to be fresh though, at least within 2 weeks of age from being extracted from the body.
What?
Right.
A Alpha Yeti.
We're just talking about a freaking Yeti over here.
Do you know what a Yeti is, boy?
I very much know what a Yeti is.
Do you know what an Alpha Yeti is?
No.
Well, we need that one.
What is that one? What is? Wait, are you saying alpha or alpha?
Alpha, like the chief, the
top?
big dog.
Okay,
The
all right.
ruler of the other Yetis.
Sure. Yep, I get it now. Sorry.
So we need 1 heart of those. You can always bring more, too. I can always have a few spare Yeti hearts lying around. But typically there's only 1 alpha per grouping of them.
With your knowledge, are Yeti always inherently bad? Don't they also have some sentience to themselves?
Yetis
Like
are
giants.
not quite to the level of giants. They are more beast.
Okay. All right.
What would you need that for?
The
The
heart
component?
is infused with extra magic that can help me in some rituals to help you
Oh, I see.
and to help this world. So that is the first item on the list. Do you want to write your own notes, or should I just give you my paper?
I look to the note takers.
Are all of your jaws broken? Who speak? Come on.
Either way is fine. I mean, I'm writing my own notes if you like to do that.
Okay. So, heart of an Alpha Yeti is number 1.
Alpha
Number
Yeti.
2. I need. Oh, he points over and there's a bottle that just like a couple seconds after he points to it starts coming flying through the air towards him, and he grabs it. This bottle, and he hands it to you. And it's like a bottle
Are
probably
we
about
not
this big.
feeling any static from
Not from
doing
that.
this? Okay. Interesting.
This bottle comes and he hands it to whoever takes it. Who would take the bottle?
I'll take it.
Hands it to you, Eleonora. I need this bottle filled up with silver titaned tree sap.
All right. Where is that found? Do you happen to know?
That
say
would be
what I know.
found. You can do a nature roll if you'd like.
Okay.
Silver Titan, like Titan?
Yes.
Okay.
19.
19. So this is a pretty rare tree. You would assume it would be found in the Odrar forest.
Okay.
It is, yeah, something you probably haven't seen personally, but maybe you've read about.
Right.
It is.
I did do a little research on that forest, so.
It is a tree that, like, its leaves sometimes have like a silverish tint to the edges of them. And also the sap is known to be more clear in color, like it's less of that kind of darker
Cloudiness.
like amber color. It's definitely more clear and has a bit of like a
Okay.
silver shine to it as well.
Okay.
So I need this bottle
I'll just-
filled of that sap.
Sorry, what did he say? Did you say where he said it was?
The drawer.
I mean, I would just say I think that would be the Odrar forest.
Exactly!
I've heard.
So smart. So,
All right.
bottle of that, Then, number 3 on the list, I need a magma ruby.
Magma ruby. Yeah.
Magma ruby.
Would that be like a volcano or something?
Sorry, I thought this was common knowledge. Magma rubies are rubies that have been dipped into lava. Typically, they are found near a red dragon's lair. You perhaps could find some nearby fire giants as well, as they
And
may
are there
harvest them for
any-
themselves.
Are there any around in the plain?
I believe they are in the northern section of the Mountains of Plenty.
I see.
Where?
So past Shadow
Oh.
Rock.
Okay.
The northern part of the Mountains of Plenty.
So it'd be near the edge of it at the top.
The most northern peaks are kind of that location that he is
Okay,
referencing.
gotcha.
Didn't we hear about maybe fire giants near Everborn or something?
You did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Good. Remember.
You did. And number 4 of things that I think could be quite useful to me is I need a fresh dragon turtle's tooth. Again, probably no more than 2 weeks old, or it will likely not be as effective.
Would I have heard of any of a turtle like that before?
You can also roll a
Just-
let's go history on this one.
Oh, okay. Let's see. That's just an 8.
Okay.
Oh, 17.
Mythically, maybe, Winnie, you've probably read about these before. They are typically found in the oceans.
Any ocean or?
They
Anyone
swim
specific?
through the oceans. They can be found in multiple places.
Okay.
Is there any magic that preserves some of these components that you know of? Because we seem to be at the mercy of not knowing how to go between timelines and not being able to travel fast because we just pop in wherever.
I see. Well, if you know the spell Gentle Repose, that potentially could help keep the body parts from rotting for a limited amount of time.
Do you know it? Or have access to it?
I do have it in my book, yes.
Not sure if you're aware I'm a wizard as well. If you would maybe at some point.
How
let me
are
peruse
you?
what- In training, of course.
I
And
see.
maybe I could study your book if no one else here has access to it. Actually, if
You
with
are
a
new
rich-
to being a wizard. You never ask to study another wizard's book. That is very intrusive.
I mean, I let Eleanor study it all she wants. Okay.
Do you just
Well,
let everyone see
I-
your
I think-
undergarments all the time too? What is wrong with you?
Well, I thought we should share our knowledge among each other. Maybe not like our insights within the spell book, but of clearly the theories of spells to be shared.
You can share knowledge without getting so personal.
Exactly. That's more what I meant. I apologize. I did not mean to peruse your spell book.
Yes, this is my spellbook.
Yes, my apologies. That's not what I meant. But yes, Eleanor, what were you going to say?
Well, yes. Well, I was just going to say, I think I could learn it, but I would need the money for it and the access to it. So
Perhaps.
it's good to know that it is an option. So, are all these things that we're gathering, are they for one ritual or multiple?
Each one will help me do more in different regards, as each is infused with various forms of magic. All 4 should be helpful. 1 at a time is fine. I can work with 1 at a time.
And the order. Does
The
it
order
matter,
does not matter
or-
either. You can bring them back in whatever order you'd like.
What do you have an idea of what these rituals would do specifically?
Well, the hope is to fix the magic, to try and discern how it broke, how to fix it, and restore the flow of magic, how to control this energy that's out there to make it more functional for everyone, and restore this world back to the splendor that it had before.
Do you think that if you restore it here, it would restore in other timelines as well?
Perhaps it could be a first step to see.
That is very true. To
And
see if it's even possible.
Precisely.
I'll go on hold to plug the others if need be.
Right. Do you think that this curse that is affecting us is something that we could work on before that is fixed, or do you think it's just going to make it worse in the meantime, since it seems to be linked somehow?
This curse you speak of, I'm sure it will always be an issue for you. If it is a distraction, deal with it. Get rid of it. But do not delay on this as well, as this, as you mentioned, does seem to be dire for your world.
Do you know what path we should take to help unravel this curse? We heard from your employees in the other timeline that you were an expert in ancient magic, or at least you studied it greatly.
And that is where we are stuck now.
Do you know what your curse is?
Some sort of complex curse that seems like a coven is collecting people, girls, to use for something.
That is far too vague for me to have an answer for you at this point. But if you find more details, I will certainly be willing to help out.
Does it help that they're using, what was
Gnocchi
the
shroom?
Gnocchi shroom? Gnocchi shroom to swap out bodies in the kidnappings of these young girls.
So they do have a connection to the Nightmare Realm.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if that is how they are still accessing this one, even while we're not here.
Fascinating. Interesting. Well, these hags seem quite diabolical and must be dealt with. I agree. You must defeat them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
we know that. No.
We know. But how do I go about naming a curse?
Well, if you're really desperate, perhaps I can spare one of those items to fuel the magic to maybe help identify the spell that is on you, the curse that is upon.
Oh, interesting. Is there a special type of magic to identify that?
If it is connected to ancient magic, potentially I could use this magic to help fuel my magic to identify it.
So these items we're collecting is to aid with your attempts at ancient magic, yes?
Correct, yes. This is quite old magic I am working with.
How did you even find access to it?
My secrets.
Can't blame me for trying.
Do you know
So-
anything of the Acheron? cult?
Those fools in the north?
Not all of them are fools, I hope.
Oh, your eye. I'm so sorry. I was too excited.
Alright, I don't belong to the cult, so. But I do believe people are trying to resurrect it and summon this Akerol, which I have felt a presence, so I do believe something is out there. And I do believe it's connected to ancient magic as well.
I do not know who Akerol is. I have not looked into that group. But if you do learn anything, I would be certainly very interested in finding out.
Well, if the static wasn't so high around me, I would ask you to identify my eye and study it yourself, but might not be the risk worth taking right now.
It's like holding his
Eldora
hand
gives him
out.
a double taker.
Not now.
All right, if you insist.
But yes, that's one way we're going to study a little bit and look into it, and maybe we can find other methods as well to aid in your research.
Ashley, you got another blessing.
Yay!
So, you have the list, right? The 4
Yes.
items that would help for now?
Yes.
Wonderful. The other thing that you can look out for is any strong locations of magic would be very interesting to me.
You like the location of the cracks we found in the other timeline?
That would be very good to have. And
If you have a map, we can mark it for you.
sure, and he motions over towards one of his desks, and a couple seconds later it
Would
starts
you
to
like
float
to
over. To them,
potentially-
and it goes over to your hands, Eleanor.
Would you like
Okay.
to potentially purchase that information from us? We are quite broke at the time. At the moment. No,
He is
not,
helping
is
us.
that not
He is helping
uh,
us for free, Devil. This is a partnership. If he feels like aiding us, he will. We don't need to.
That's right.
How about this?
I'm
I'll
just saying
write
we are
that
broke.
spell that you want in your book, and you can give me the information.
See? Perfect.
That is perfect.
Transactional.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And again, no disrespect. We're
I
just
start marking.
it's expensive to be a wizard, you know that.
Of course, so expensive. As you just look around, it's like the nicest stuff in his office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in the gif earlier, that little kid was like, wow.
Yeah, he's got like a legit wizard tower, so he's.
Yeah. Dav doesn't want to leave, but he also wants to get the heck out of here.
Yeah, I start marking like all the places I remember.
Your
the
book?
map. I'll even. I'll hand it like, I think I have my my spells in the back anyway, so I hand it like upside down. I just kind of like put it on the table.
Sure.
So it's almost like I'm putting like on the table.
Okay.
And I'll like flip to a page for him. Here you are.
He looks at you as you do that. Smiles at you, begins to write down.
She smiles
spell.
at him. Like, and yeah, I for the map, I am like labeling like mishap crack from death, random mishap crack mishap crack from battle. Like I'm trying to like be really specific.
Sure,
With, like
sure.
which ones and what caused it and stuff.
So he's taking some time writing it down. I mean, you're being watched again. But for that, I think we'll take a break right here and
I wrote.
pick up in our second half and see where this goes. So everyone stick around. I'm going to go rest my voice for a little bit, and we'll be
Yes,
back
okay.
shortly. So see you all soon.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
All right, we are back, friends, from our break, and ready to get into our second half here with this guy, Hoonrika. The guy who's killing my throat as we play. So he is currently busy writing in Eleonora's book, copying over the Gentle Repose spell for her. While he's doing that, anything you guys like to be doing?
Let's look around his office, I guess.
Are there like? Did you say there was bookshelves up here? There's a lot.
There's
of
a bunch of bookshelves, a bunch of books on the tables, and notes scattered all over the place. As you guys wait too, Alanis does come with like a tray of drinks that she puts on the table and offers for all of you, and there's some like biscuit type things that are next to it as well.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Of course.
Do you have any public accessible things to look into, or is this all like kind of like
What'd
self-study?
you say?
I was just wondering if like, can we look at any of this stuff, or is it all like self-study, private?
You asking who?
Enoch.
Oh.
Sorry.
He looks back. Don't look at my stuff! Stay over there,
No,
drink
no,
your tea
it's fine.
or your drink, and I will be with you in a couple hours. And he just keeps writing.
It's a couple hours. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I'm definitely like sitting down. There's chairs and stuff.
Yeah, there's some chairs that are off to this like
Yeah,
table
I'm
off to the
sitting
side, a little
down.
away from him. But
Yeah. I'll be like, thank you very much, Alanis. It is nice to see you again, even though you do not remember us.
yeah, it's still weird. She just looks at Roland.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, were you guys a group of 4 being hired here?
We were hired here to help protect him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Right, but as a like, were you already together as a group, or were you hired individually?
We were together, and Bro was also hired separately.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in the other place, you three made quite a good team as monster hunters.
Interesting. Guess that would be an
Your
option
group-
if we ever did need to.
Your group actually saved our lives at one point. So, even though you do not know us, we have a high amount of respect for you three.
I don't know what to say because I didn't do it.
Cool.
There, she's on the screen now.
I think I will take a if we're gonna sit for a couple hours, I will probably take a short rest during that time.
Ooh, oh.
And also, I think I'd be kind of looking at all of the titles of the books. Obviously, I'm not going to go search them if she said stay away, but I'd be looking at all the titles to see if anything stands out about curses.
Okay. Give me a perception roll. They're kind of far away from where you're seated.
Sure. Yep, that's fair. I'm gonna use my bless just because I can.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. 23.
23. So there's a few that have a bit larger font on the spines. And a lot of them just seem like various, at least the ones you can pick out, they look like magic textbooks type things or different theories of magic.
Mhm.
There are some that have some larger font, and you look at them. What language do you read?
Elvish and Common and Druidic.
Okay. You don't recognize what they say on them.
Okay.
But there is definitely like a lot of assortments. Some that look quite old as you stare at them.
Okay.
But you're not quite sure. There are definitely even sections that have like protective bars almost over the books to make it so that you can't even
Whoa.
get access to them.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
he's definitely protective of his knowledge.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, interesting. Okay.
Did you often leave with Mr. Stevens when he would go plane side to different planes as well?
You're
Or did you
asking in
stay
all
here?
honest. We sometimes do travel with him just to ensure his safety.
Interesting. Yes. That is unfortunate that it is cut off now.
Yes.
Has that affected anything else for the three of you?
Not too much, just being locked into this plane. We still have magic that we can access.
Yes. I did hear that it was a bit unlike the Shudder in that contact is cut off, but not the power.
Yes, the deities do not have access to this plane, it seems, to connect with people. But we still can use magic here.
There's a part of me that wonders if there is still some sort of connection, because we have gone to Dalmine clerics to ask for protection within dreams and things like that, and they pray to her, and it seemed to work. I'm not sure though.
I've had a theory. I don't know how accurate this would be, but part of me wondered if what our situation is similar to the Shudder, as the deities were captured during the Shudder. I've had this thought that maybe they were captured again, but in such a way that their magic is still being able to be utilized, but they're absent.
Oh, like, yes, if this was like, I see what you're saying. That could certainly be a possibility.
But I don't know
depending
why
on the
that.
nature of this place.
I don't know. When I've mentioned it to Hunrik, he doesn't seem to be super convinced, especially because it seems more like it's related to us with how the plane shifting doesn't work.
Well, I suppose it depends on the nature of the different timelines, because there was contact with gods where we are. I mean, if we went back now, we could go talk to any of them if you had connections.
Interesting.
So,
Do any of you have a deity you worship?
No.
I see. Okay.
But we have been working rather closely with some of the Domine temples just to aid with the nightmare realms afflictions.
And Dav's got his book out, and he's like doing kind of the same. He's been like meditating and trying to focus on like a short rest, but like he's been reading through his spells and like trying to do an arcane recovery, and like just looks up. Yeah, I dropped Domine once. She's weird. And just goes back to reading.
Interesting. Well, as being not a follower, that's a blessing, I hear.
Funny enough, I'm starting to look at it that way. Can't really deny their existence, but I can at least accept their flaws, just like ours.
Well, do you need anything else? Do you require anything? While you wait.
I don't think so.
Don't mean to pry since we're kind of talking on it, but what brought you to follow your deity in the first place? I know it's a personal question.
I mean, I just wanted to help people, and Asmeda seemed to line up with my beliefs, and to care for life and things of that nature.
Does it have to do with death, though? So,
Which does relate to the judgment of the soul, yes. But she also is about preserving those who are alive.
fair enough.
From what we saw, that was how you functioned, so that doesn't make sense.
Yes. She is definitely a very respectable deity.
I'm glad you found someone that fits with you.
Yeah.
Such a good double meaning to it. Dad's gonna go back to the arcane recovery. But he's going to attempt to, as kind of what he was talking to in the moment where like magic or the mishap energy is a lot higher, he's gonna try and see if he can reach out to feel magic any deeper than he has before and see if possible.
So your hope is to try and connect to the magical flow.
Yes, that's what he's gonna start with.
All right.
Yeah, he's got one of two things to try.
Okay. First, me an intelligence check.
Use my blessing if I can. On
Your
this one.
bless, okay.
Mm, 18.
Okay.
Usually get a better roll on the bless.
So you reach out to this flow of magic that you know to be unstable.
Not casting that, right?
I know.
Okay. Sorry.
But you reach out to try to touch it, try to connect to it. Connect with that buzzing sensation that you feel all around you. And as you do, you kind of feel like this surge within you. What do you do with that? It's like a rush suddenly towards you.
I think in this moment, he's trying to do the opposite of what he normally does. Normally he tries to like, I think, almost like overly control it or overly will something. Almost like, you know, like when you're trying to force something. This is like more like relaxing and just letting it happen. So it's almost like becoming a channel for it instead of trying to necessarily force something. It's just kind of like let it kind of to follow where it goes, if that makes sense.
Okay, highs or lows?
Lows.
Okay.
Highs, lows.
Which one?
Lows.
Lows, okay. You feel this energy just like coming at you like a tidal wave approaching you. You try to like contain it to let it flow through you.
Explode world.
But it's not working. Like all of a sudden it just feels overwhelming within you. As like pain begins to rack your body. You end up taking 18 points of damage as this energy just like fries your hair, kind of spikes up a little bit. You feel singed but cold. It's just this unpleasant feeling. And you all kind of like look at this. It's like he like jolts for a moment as this hits him.
Davro, what's wrong?
What just happened?
Hold on, my eyes twitching. Hold on. Okay.
What was that?
Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Yeah, that was cool.
Peter kind of looks over. Did you try to connect to it?
Yeah.
Pretty rough, isn't it?
Woo!
Oh dear.
Did I not do it right?
It's not easy.
Oh man.
Since we don't want to
This
use
is Deva's
spells,
future. Oh, sorry.
since we always use spells, Winnie will just heal you for only 6, but it's better than nothing. So at least it's something.
Thanks.
I'll just like kind of look at you, and a little sparkle comes over and like
No, you don't.
on your
it's fine.
shoulder.
Okay,
She did it before you could say no.
thanks.
For 6 plus 1 temp.
Oh wow. So 6, 1 temp, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 healing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if just in case.
He just pats away the ashes of whatever's left of his hair and the singes of it. Sorry, guys. I thought I'd see if I could feel it deeper.
I think you can feel it.
Yeah.
Alana like leans in. You look fortunate compared to some of the things I've seen.
Oh, what do you mean?
Can it be bad? Like really bad?
Oh yes. And it's just like, yeah, in my early days I was found unconscious a few times. It's okay.
Oh dear. It is a wonder he's still alive.
This is why I'm here.
Euphemia
Yes.
looks at Dav and just goes, "Warn me next time."
You guys let me try one more time?
No, do no.
I have a second
What?
idea.
What? Wait, maybe you should say the idea first. Why don't we get it out there first?
I felt like a tidal wave, like I couldn't contain it. But I also have something that might be able to contain it. And he points to his eye. If I try and utilize it this time.
What's your end goal here, Dav? If you get it, then what?
Like you said, to understand the flow better. So then if I can feel the mishap flow as well. Or even know when, be able to see the cracks off in the flow. That's what he's talking about. We have to be able to utilize that.
Just shrug and like sit back and watch you.
I'll look at the others.
Well, if you're hurt and he was found unconscious, do you think your body can withstand another round?
Yeah.
Can't really.
Heal him
A lot
without
tougher than when you
magic.
guys found me.
What? What did you say?
Me, her?
I didn't hear what you said.
Who are you
Me?
pointing to?
Oh, I'm pointing to like the person on my screen. Oh my gosh.
That
Oh,
person
yes,
right there.
I heard Euphemia. I didn't hear
Okay.
Davril.
I forget what I said. I don't even know. To be honest, I had this one.
Oh, okay.
I think it was more of a grunt. I think I don't even know. He was just willing to try.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, I don't think it's causing mishaps.
I just
Won't take the risk if you guys feel like it's too much.
I glanced to Alanis. What do you think? I mean, you're a little more in charge of security here. If you don't want your guest causing
Yeah.
chaos, then please say so.
You want to try it? There, Henrik, do you have an issue? He can do what he wants. Just don't let him hurt me. Okay. As long as you can try it. It's a good thing that I am nearby. Roland, please be ready just in case if extra healing's needed. It's nods.
Alright.
It's very kind of you both. Thank you very much.
Henrik likes this type of stuff.
This does not surprise me.
Well, and she just kind of like steps a little bit back, ready to just cast anything.
Maybe, Euphemia, can you heal him one more time, maybe?
I'm okay.
There's a little like gold sparkle that comes back over you. She's not gonna listen to you. She'll listen to Eleonora.
Oh, yeah.
3 + 1.
Alright. That's fine. Okay.
You only have the one temp though to replace the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. An intelligence check.
Full defensive field. Replace that to a 4.
It would go up to a 4, yeah. If that's the armor mode you have active, yeah.
Yeah.
Go for
I
it.
switched it before we teleported.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll focus in and try and kind of like reach out again, but this time I think instead of just being open, I think he'll try and focus into that as like a focus in a way, something to channel that rush into the stone instead of just himself.
Intelligence check.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Okay. Highs or lows?
Eyes. It's gonna be low. Maybe not.
Okay. You reach out to that same feeling to connect with that flow that you felt, that buzzing all around you. And once more, you feel that rise of this energy as you reach out to connect to it. And you attempt to focus it with your eye. Give me, for this one, another intelligence check.
Okay. That was saving throw?
Not a save. This is not a save.
Yeah, it was worth a try. Natural 20.
Oh!
Perfect.
Natural scarab on this one, but natural 20.
Okay. You feel this energy begin to flow in towards you and overwhelm you. But you try to direct it towards this stone in your eye. Highs or lows on this one now?
Oh, man.
Whoa!
Oh boy.
Wow, Mark.
You know, we're gonna stick highs. It's worked on here, we'll stick with it.
Okay.
Golly.
you feel this surge entering into you. Let's see who gets this blessing. It's you, Mike. Lucky. How fortunate for you.
You're right.
The surge, though, enters into that. You immediately feel this instability, though. Just like, close your eye. And you feel this energy just flow through your whole body. And you open it to hearing a word. A couple words to you. It's different, though. As this echoes in your mind, almost as if it's multiple languages all speaking at once. And you kind of register it with the languages that you are aware of.
Okay.
So whatever you hear those words, but they're like layered, all these languages. So there's a bunch that you don't even hear. You just hear, "Find me." As you open your eye to hearing "Find me," you look, and there's just a vast expanse of like stars and nebula, and just you are clearly not in a material plane at this point. You're more feeling like you're in the void at this as you're staring out, just floating. Who would be sitting next to him at the time?
I'm guessing Euphemia was on one side.
I'd be
at
close
least.
by.
Winnie had to be close
Yeah.
to do the thing, but
To do the thing.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think he
hers
was
is touch.
like
so.
instantly just like reach over Winnie if he can.
You
feel
don't sense
something there.
anybody around you. You look and you're just in the void expanse of nothing, floating by yourself. You hear that, "Find me." You hear this like clink of metal sound,
Oh.
like shifting metal, maybe like a chain sound, just like chink, like metal moves.
Can I respond in the moment?
You want to?
Do you go by a name other than Akerol?
You sense something's gaze upon you. Davril, find me. Free me. I can help. You hear again this like chain sound, like it's something struggling against chains. What would you like to do with that?
Why are you chained?
I have been imprisoned, Davril.
By who?
By an ancient being long ago.
Then how do I know you're good? Power can only be worth it if it benefits.
I can aid you. That's all you can know for sure. But I will help you.
You see the other two? The leaders?
As you ask that question, you feel yourself being pulled back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the room, you guys watch as Dav just tenses up. His eye starts glowing this bright blue, filling like the area. This pain, like it's painful, like searing of all of his markings on his face, just starts sliding down his face a little bit more. And he's just clenched up. There's a bit of panic from Alanis at this point. Probably a lot of panic in you guys. And then he just slumps over.
Oh my word.
Dav, you are unconscious. You're at 0 hit points.
Yeah. Feel like I'd be like immediately like medicine check because as he slumped over.
He is
sitting
currently
there.
dying at this point.
Ah!
Oh gosh.
I'll do my hand thing for 5.
Okay. And Dav, you come back at this point, just like this tremendous pain like along your right side. You get 5 hit points now.
6 now, actually.
6 hit points. There you go.
There you go. I'll dump 3 more sparkles on you. They like rain down on you.
Totally worth it.
What was that?
Are you alright?
9 plus 3 temp would be the.
So 6 plus 9, so 15 total. Okay. And how many times? Sorry.
3.
3.
Because it's 3 dice. Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. See, we're fine. We're
Y'all
good.
get over there. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, perfect. And he gets back to writing.
All right. What
Definitely.
what happened?
I had a little chit chat with that girl, I think.
Oh dear. The words again. What did you say the words?
Different. Wants me to find him and release him. He's in chains.
Alright.
Yeah.
Strange. She's fussing over you.
I'm
It's
fine,
just
I'm
like-
fine, I'm good, I'm
like
good.
looking at your like vein. Like, is his veins, did they grow still, or was it just prosthetic?
Yeah.
It's like they've grown a little bit, just like slightly.
They're sore.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I won't touch them, but and I'm like still like holding your face.
Yeah.
They did grow.
It's sore,
They grew
it's sore,
down.
it's sore.
No, it's like her hands on the other side, like of his
It's
face.
sore.
Oh, don't feel- Child.
You could try blowing on it if you want, but I don't think it's gonna work.
I blow on it.
Feels a little better. Wait, what? What do you mean? What? Why are you? What's
they
wrong
grew.
with that? Well, that's new.
Well, did it happen that one time? Do you remember?
I think
Yeah,
I
but-
remember it did.
Interesting.
So,
Was it
go ahead.
the same place?
Yeah. Tried to reach out and no one was there. Sorry, guys. I didn't think that would happen.
Well, I don't know if anyone could have predicted that specifically. So
Did he
that
tell you how to find
I-
him? Sorry. No, go.
Oh, all I was gonna say was that I is a connection point, but you were saying, Winifred?
Did he tell you how to find him, or just want you to find him?
No. I think I already know. I'm sure the other two are back up north trying to restart everything. They needed something from the ice giants, remember?
And that was ice giants,
And Yeti.
not what he needs. Oh, it is the same thing?
I'm sure we could find an alpha Yeti up there.
I see.
Kendra made it sound like we were the bad guys stealing something from the ice giants who needed that to protect themselves or something. I don't want to be killing a Yeti for no reason, but I mean, if they are just beasts, then maybe
Well,
that's
if you said it
different.
was a tribe of giants, that's different than a Yeti. Right?
The giants that attacked my city employed Yeti. Controlled them, at least.
I see. So, I think that's a bit different.
I kind of look at you, Phoebe, because I think we've had a discussion similar to this previously on, like, creatures that are sentient and more monster before. Like, I don't remember when it was, but what do you think, Euphemia? Do you know anything about Yeti?
Would I know anything about Yeti?
Give me a nature roll.
Would I?
Both can give me nature rolls.
Not history, nature.
This would be a nature.
Whoops. Okay.
All right, Winnie, didn't mean to cut you out there.
Oh, I don't know anything about it. Nope, 8.
23.
Okay. Yetis are generally considered to be monstrosities that reside in cold weather. They are generally viewed as evil, more chaotic in nature, and yeah, they love being in snow. They are good at hunting, and they're pretty brutal in how they deal with things. And yeah, you haven't heard good things about Yetis.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I guess if he looks at first, he'll just kind of say, well, I think they're generally very evil.
Okay.
Well, how do you feel now? Are you alright?
I don't know if that was quite worth it. Don't feel any different. Maybe later I can see if I can feel the weave better with that or something. I don't know. Or the flow, sorry.
Why did it hurt you so bad? Was it the strain of the connection? How does your body feel?
I think both. I've felt pushed back before when I've tried to connect to the stone.
Did any of the others feel that way when you were active?
Would I have heard of anything like that, Mark?
So you'd be aware that this stone is talked about to be very powerful, and if used incorrectly, it definitely can be dangerous. But that's kind of why they don't just like train everybody immediately how to use it. It's kind of like inert for the most part until you learn how to use it, because they don't want people to like hurt themselves with it or something. But it's, when used properly, it can be very helpful as a spell focus.
And I never got to the point where he even studied how to use it properly, right?
Yeah,
Or
not
like,
yet. Not at this point.
He doesn't even know what that even looks like. Okay.
Yep. So it definitely was very unstable feeling as you were trying to flow it in there. Like, it felt like it was very unstable in your body at that point.
Okay.
So it was like inexperience, like making it harder on him type of thing?
From just
or like it's not meant to be used with that kind of magic.
From a base connection, it feels like a very large amount of magic went into it, and you don't know how to control it. So it was killing you, essentially, as a result of that.
Being directed back towards me instead of released.
It was definitely harming you as you were...
Yeah.
Were you rolling hit points he was losing as...
Every question, I was rolling hit points he was losing, yep.
That's so interesting. I love it. I saw you smirking and rolling. I'm like, what is he rolling for?
Yep. I was looking at how many hit points you were at, and once you got to that point, the question's over.
Ding, 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 ding.
So good.
Okay. All right, yes, well, I think now, are you good on experimenting? I think that's
I want to
enough
try
for
one
the
more
day.
time.
What?
I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, Daryl, you.
Like-
My nerves only can take so much.
Just joking.
Alright.
Sorry, guys. I was hoping to. Not that we didn't get anywhere. But...
Did
Information.
Henrik overhear any of the stuff that we were just talking about, or was he busy?
You guys could assume he probably picked up on a lot of this stuff.
Now everyone's
Does he
sitting
seem
here.
like-
Yeah. And
Yeah, so does
Alana's
anyone
is sitting
seem,
right
like,
here too,
concerned?
so she's like in on this
so
conversation.
Do Alanis or him? Do they seem like concerned at all with what we're saying? Because it's like a, culty god, I guess. Do they?
Henrik very much seems like he's in what he's doing.
Yeah.
But Alanis has a look of concern after seeing everything that's been happening.
Fair.
Henrik, do you know of what it might have been talking about? That it was captured by an ancient being. Do you know what these ancient beings are? You study ancient magic, so do you know of any ancient beings related to them?
Ancient beings could be anything. Some things have existed since the beginning of time.
Do you know of any?
You want me to list every single one of them?
One that you would consider ancient versus how we currently perceive things, yeah?
Again, that could be a huge list of things.
Alright, fair enough. Wasn't sure how focused when we call something ancient magic is versus...
Ancient magic
magic.
and ancient beings are very different things, though.
Fair enough.
Ancient
Fair
beings
enough,
have existed since very long ago. Ancient magic was the magic that was going on back then. And it's morphed into different things, just like there's different people who exist now. Like the elemental race, that's a new race. They are not ancient.
Fair enough.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. Did you repeat exactly like everything that you heard to us, or did you? I
Yeah.
don't know if you like would have told us. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll just ask. What do you think he meant by he was like chained a long time ago? Like, was that before you were part of the cult? You think he was prisoner?
Yeah. I
So you've
think
never really. Okay.
That's just my gut feeling, but
Sorry. Did your cult
As-
know?
As you say the
group-
chain thing, Henrik just like turns around in his chair. That is very interesting, though.
Thanks.
I was asking.
Where we are on the planar map is quite far from much of the other places of existence. It is theorized that this place was a location where, prior to Vraxon, or as an alternative to Vraxon, things would be stored away and banished to be imprisoned to never be found again.
Here? Oh, not here, but the location, you're saying?
Yes, and it is outside of the normal means, which means deities like Ismeda would not function in this way, as she would work with Vraxon. But if another being wanted to get rid of somebody, you'd send them far out into the void to never be seen again.
So this was like a void.
This
A
location
banishment void.
was quite far from the normal material worlds. It is hidden in some respects, as its distance makes it hard for people to connect to.
So why can people connect now?
Well, it's been established now.
Oh, but it was not established before. And that's
Before.
why it was not. I see.
It's like if someone wanted to bury treasure, they would go way out into the woods and bury their treasure. But as the city expands, somebody might find that hidden spot as everything
Yes.
grows.
So do you know what?
Good.
Well, do you know what others used? Who used this place for sending unwanted beings?
Could be anybody.
Banishment?
But
Would someone try and
yes.
hide someone they'd already banished here? Maybe? Like if someone were banished here and everyone forgot about it, would that be hidden still?
This
or
would
people know
be
about it?
an imprisonment. It is greater than banishing something. But it is imprisoning in a location. Likely, they'd hope no one would ever find them.
Trying to stay as Dav and not as Michael, trying to ask questions that he would
I know it. I know it. So much Beacon's thoughts.
Like,
in my
I
head
want to
right now.
ask a question, but I have to stay in this role. Oh, man.
Huh.
Okay.
So, are there any theories about what was here then?
Nothing.
Or nothing.
Void.
It was far out. Away from everything.
Alright. Sure.
Until much more recently, where they found that they could create something in this convergence.
Yes.
Was this known as a convergent spot more than just in the past few hundred years?
It was discovered. And that's why it was built here.
But I guess I'm just kind of confused. If it was a void, how could there be a convergence in a void unless something pulled a convergence here?
The flow of magic can go in any which direction.
Fair enough. So,
Doesn't really have to be material for it to exist.
Precisely.
right, no, I understand that. I'm just saying the wizards did make something eventually material here. Just before
Mhm.
that, how would they
But the
know?
convergence existed in the void, or it could. It's possible
Right.
for it to do that.
I guess my question was, do we know if the convergence was always there, or if it was not there prior, then done here? Does that make sense? Like, if it was a void for imprisonment, why send them to where magic is stronger? Then maybe that convergence happened later, right? As time went forward.
It
And
may
then-
not be intentional. It could be like
That's kind of what I was
throwing a
wondering,
rock
yeah.
as far away from a location as you can. You don't know where it lands, what it might land near, but you're just getting it as far away as possible.
Alright. So we don't know how far back a convergence might have been created.
Also,
Keep
who
saying
would be
created.
powerful enough-
What do you mean created?
I don't know.
Do you
if it
know
was created
something?
Or,
Devin?
no, that's what I'm asking. I don't know if this was a flow of something
Uh,
created or
Not
if
the rock, sorry.
it was always this way. That's why I'm asking. The theory of if it's created or was always here. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. It could be anything.
But we know the
Also,
wizards
who would
created
be-
this. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, my bad.
So who would be powerful enough to like chain a god, like, or a deity? Like what kind, like another deity? Or would someone like us, like, if he expects you to free him, then I don't know. I wasn't sure what the rules on that were.
That girl is a god?
Well, you guys worshipped him like a god, didn't you? Or is he just a person?
They view him as a lower deity, I guess. I don't know. But he's a source of information and power.
I do not
Isn't it
recall that
interesting?
in any of my studies of the old gods. But if it's minor, it may not have come up.
Would it be hard to imprison a minor god then?
Do you not know of the story of Rotendo? You all are... Did you go to school?
I did a
No.
lot. I never heard that one though.
Most of the schools close their doors to me.
Well, actually, out of character, Death did tell us that's what caused the shudder was Rutendo
Yeah.
Oh,
and stuff.
oh, I forgot the person's name. Okay,
So
just
we
kidding.
did know
I do
him.
remember. Okay, just kidding. Did
is that something the public would know? Because we're trying to make sure not to get on that Death would have told us.
I think
Right.
so.
He just asked if we went to school. I mean, it sounds like it's
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably like
That's why
basic
Dad's
college.
pretending like,
Yeah.
nope, tell
Yeah.
us now, because we've never heard this before.
Mhm.
To make sure it
Yeah.
doesn't trip up anything about death. So that's why he's
Right.
acting stupid in certain situations.
Hmm.
I mean, that seems to imply that it might be general knowledge.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Rotendo was sealed away. He is a major deity.
I'm sure that took a lot of power.
Oh yes.
There's supposedly rules too with these gods and how they interact.
Yes, he was sealed by other gods.
This is interesting.
Do we think he was sealed potentially here then?
Akril?
Rotundo?
No.
Oh.
He was not, from my understanding, sealed here.
Michael's trying to understand if, like, I'm missing pieces because Dav should know public knowledge that I don't, or if I'm not trying to merge things and that my brain really is messing
Yeah,
up.
it's he's almost hard to talk to, like, or to understand what he's saying exactly. So, can I just like run down what I think
Sure.
I heard,
Yep.
and then you can confirm with me?
You can.
So,
yeah.
It sounds like he's saying that there are theories about this place. He doesn't know about this place being Beacon or whatever, obviously. But he's saying that back in the day before there was Vraxon even, is that what he's saying? Or like before there were like planes to banish people or like imprison people, you'd almost like toss them out into the middle of nowhere type of thing so they can't be found. And so he's saying that's probably what happened with Acheral.
So basically, either it's somebody who was doing it prior to the normal means, or it's somebody who is doing it in a way to intentionally try to make it so that this would not be found.
Like, yeah, so it's like, okay, I see what you're saying. So it was either before the established order of Ismeda banishing crappy people to Vraxon, or someone wanted to go outside of the order, like kind of how Death does. He goes outside the order and doing it. Like,
Potentially.
You guys, and I'm
Okay.
really sorry, can you kind of just TLDR the whole Vraxon and the importance of it and how we'd understand it? Just because
Vraxon is
Vraxon's the top deity, right?
Vraxon is the abyss where the evil of the most evil of the evil go.
Oh.
It's
okay.
also where Ladius, that evil necromancy deity, would be located and has her kingdom. So it's a bad place. Vraxon's bad.
So Vraxon
And
is
a lot of-
place or a deity?
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
it's a
It's a
place.
place.
And like usually I think it's like kind of typical lore is if you're like the worst of the worst, Ismeda will send you to Vraxon to be like imprisoned there or
Yeah.
like banished there to that plane.
Is that... Did we learn about Vraxon, or was it hinted at in Beacons? Because I feel like I'm merging a few things in my head.
Vraxon, I think it did come up a little bit in Beacons, yes.
Was that where
Yeah.
Illuminus was banished
Yes.
to?
Yes.
And that's where he got
That's where all the
help
demons
from?
were from. Mhm.
That's where-
It was Vraxon, yes.
Okay.
Recruited.
Oh, I think we talked to. Oh my gosh, what was his name? The guy that ended up kind of helping us, the weird like demon guy.
Lloyd?
Didn't I think he told us
Zangul?
about? No, huh?
Zangul.
Zangul.
Zangul. I was gonna say Zydar. I'm like, nope, that's our desert friend. I think didn't he tell us about Fraxon?
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And the
So-
dragon was from there, like the evil dragon and all that.
So what you're saying is, because I'm trying to go back to what you're relating to before, because you said before Vraxon. So you're saying before Vraxon was created or made as a place to send the worst of the worst, you're thinking this was what they did with people before Vraxon, or like Mark was saying, well, maybe because in my so where my mind's getting stuck on is because, and I know it's not Dav, it's Michael. Kind of how Illuminance was like, I don't want anyone to find potentially death. He banished him. So it's kind of similar to like that, where it's like, I don't know, in my head I'm like, I don't, because it also means Akrol could have been good, banished for someone bad, being like, I don't want anyone to ever save you. Or it could be that he's bad, banished for someone good, being like, you're so bad, I don't want anyone to ever release you. So it's like, I'm having a hard time circling that drain right now.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a genuine question that needs to be asked with
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah, like
And I
what's the
think-
nature of it?
I guess that would probably actually be Dav's next. He'll just blurb that out and just being like, that's where I'm having a tough time with this, because I don't even know how one could ever trust that. I mean, he's enticing me with power and to be released. He danced around the who banished you or why question.
Or you just died before then, right?
I don't know. It depends on who sent him there. I have no idea who this person is, if they're good or bad.
Or if they go by a different name.
Or that.
I mean, I would think that looking and seeing what we can find out before
Yeah, I'm never
agreeing
going
to anything like that would be wise. You don't want to.
No, yeah, I agree.
Release
Don't release
something.
anything that you don't know if it's good to release.
Yes.
For sure. I think that's why our cult found its demise, because they were trying too rashly to release this thing. All right, well, not sure if that 100% affects us at the moment, but we might be able to find some research if we go after the Yeti, but I don't know how important it would be.
He turns back and starts writing.
I just pat his arm and then I go back to sitting down and looking tired.
But you guys just waiting for the 2 hours to be up?
I was trying so hard not to continue experimenting anything.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
All
just
his
like
willpower.
I'm just like scribbling a bunch of notes and sitting there and like
Okay.
I actually think I would try and also read the book, like see what's on the books around us, just to kind of like look. I don't know if I'll know any of the languages either, but
Sure, you can roll a perception check.
okay. 6. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're hard to read. A lot of them are far away, so it makes sense. And then some are blocked by these bars across them. You guys wait the 2 hours? Nothing else?
I'll do
Think so.
arcane recovery to get a first level spell slot back.
Okay. Yeah, you can do
I
a short
want
rest
to
if
ask
you want.
Keenerk about a. Oh, sorry.
You can do a short rest. But what was your question?
I just wanted to ask Keenerk something, but he's busy, so I would do it after he's
Okay.
done.
Sure. So, you wait the 2 hours, and done. And he closes the book. And he brings. Interesting.
Get up and go get it before Alanis can see me.
Just like turns to look at you. Really, you?
Yes.
We're good.
Fascinating. Tell me all about him.
I'm like looking at him like is he like trying to figure out if this is a trap.
Yeah, can I roll insight
Sure.
on him at all? I'm sure he's. I feel like he would be. Oh yeah, too.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Because
Yeah, can we roll insight
I'm
to try to see
immediately
it?
concerned. Like,
I was like, what?
21.
23.
He looks curious.
Okay.
Kind of look at Eleanor like,
I would love to tell you, in more private circumstances. I think.
Why? Is this a secret?
Dav, but older.
Is he like in another room, or is this all in a big room?
You're all in the same room. Like your friends are like
yeah.
sitting over in chairs, like just kind of behind where he is. Alana's is
boy.
sitting over there too. You got Rolian and Brell both in this room. Like everybody's here, and he's very loudly just announcing this to everybody.
Oh boy.
Like tuck it into my bag.
Why is this a secret? Aren't these your friends?
I'm sorry, Mark. This is like this is Davril in the future. This is
Old.
Davril's future.
No, it is.
100%. It's
This
killing
is
me.
Dad if he would have gone unchecked, like without it.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yep.
on the path he was on before.
Absolutely.
Like if he would have met
That's
us.
what I love.
He somehow won the lottery
Oh
enough to
my
get money to do
gosh.
this. Like, yeah.
I'll just say it carries a reputation that others don't enjoy very much.
Oh yeah, this guy definitely has a reputation. But do they know? Does everybody know?
My friends do, yes. I would appreciate it if it stays that way.
Why are you afraid?
I don't. Looks like he's clicking with him. Look. Wait. So is my back? I like went up to go get the book.
Yeah.
Is my back to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, can I like shift with my eyes in like Alanis's direction? Like.
Just like looks right at Alana's. Doesn't even hide it.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. I mean, she'll be fine. Alanis. This book.
Oh my goodness.
She's got a book. She works with death. Leave her alone. Don't bother her. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's worse than me.
Oh dear.
And she just kind of like looks over, and there's a look of like concern you can see on her face. But
Oh my gosh.
But we're all friends here. No one's ever harmed each other. We're good.
yeah, we're friends here.
Yes, there is no issues here. I can say the rumors about him, he does not function in this way. He's trying to help, actually.
He's very nice, actually.
Nice. Cool.
I like look. This is killing me.
I know. I'd be watching Alanis this whole time.
is just like staring at you, Eleonora. Just like looking
Yeah.
right at you.
Yeah.
Is she, like, mad?
Yeah, what is she? What's her
You
expression?
can roll insight.
Is she disappointed?
Is she disappointed in me?
Not bad. Just disappointed in you.
So that'd be a 13.
There's gonna be a conversation later.
I'm gonna... It's getting kind of... I'm gonna use my reroll.
Okay.
We're at 17.
Nat 20.
There you go.
Whoa!
27.
Protective Effie.
Yes. She's
Very
so
nice.
protective.
She
Okay.
does not look happy right now as she's looking at
Oh,
Eleonora.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
You're a villain in disguise.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So you have your spell. You have your list of things to look for.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's getting late. I probably should let you get going.
Of course.
Why are you acting so weird now?
So, Henrik, see, I did this faux pas once before as a social skill. Certain people do like to keep their their private sakes private for. It's not very nice to just out someone
I mean,
like that.
I had to look through your book a little bit. I know
Yes,
you're a
of
warlock. It's fine. Like, I'm not gonna judge.
Thank you, Henrik. I so appreciate that.
I lean over to Euphemia. Is this what it's like talking to me?
Kind of raises her eyebrow like, yes,
Wow.
to a degree. To a
Sorry.
degree. It's all right.
Yes. Hunric, it is all right. I
Of course it's all
did
right.
not want it to get out, but it is out now, and there's nothing to be done. It was already going to get out at some point anyway.
Exactly. Why
Alanis?
keep it a secret?
Yes, well, I already have quite enough trouble in my head as it is.
I mean, you seem more shifty when you try to hide things like this.
Yes, unfortunately, Mr. Stevens, I have a rather bad reputation wherever I go.
Oh, really? Why's that?
Yes. Well, I am Eleanor Edivane.
That Edivane?
Yes, yes.
Wow!
Imagine like the light
Nobility
bulbs just burst.
in my tower.
boy.
Oh dear.
It is
I'm
a pleasure
so
to
honored.
host
And
you.
it's- Oh, thank you very much. I so appreciate.
Now that's how you make up for the faux pas.
Euphemia looks like she wants to fall on the floor right now. Like, this is the worst case scenario right now. We tried to keep her secret.
I know you
It's
did
like-
great. She's not mad at you guys. I'm so proud of all of you.
It's
No,
an
I know.
anime
She's just
moment.
like, oh, crud. Like, this is going so badly.
Yes. Well, there are rumors I tried to kill my brother, which are not true. But unfortunately, a spiraled effect goes off from there. So, whatever anyone will believe about me, they probably will already believe. So, my association with my partner is going to be abhorred no matter what I say. So I try to not say it.
All right. Suit yourself.
As a reminder, Fusor, if you want to let him know about that.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever worked with Fusel.
Yeah, sometime.
There's a woman in Lakeside named Vari who works closely with Fusor in containing mishaps within the Fusor. Seems to work rather well, but I don't know if you have studied much about creatures that have resulted from mishaps or from the Shudder in general.
Creatures that have resulted from, like, the mutations?
Yeah.
Potentially, or something like it. I ask because my brother, and she says that like kind of like with difficulty. My brother is possessed by something after a mishap during the Shudder, and I'm trying to find any resources I can on what that might be. So I don't know if you were able to study any of it.
Nope. I'm mostly focusing on fixing the plane. So good luck with that.
Of course. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions we had.
Well,
But,
I
all
think
right,
it's time
well-
for you to get going.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your help. Do you have magical ways of contacting
Like,
to check in or anything?
like sending?
Yes.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right.
That's pretty
I mean,
basic.
It's yes, for you, I'm sure. Being the skilled wizard that you are, would you like to check in maybe once a week or something?
Sure.
And then if we have any questions or anything, or any updates, and that way you can also know when we are around and when we are not. Because if you do not get a message back, that means we have been zapped back.
Okay.
That'd be interesting to see if, from what I've read of sending, can it potentially also reach other planes of existence?
Normally, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It doesn't
That's
work
just
here.
Try that.
I've tried.
Oh yes. Well,
Can't reach
true.
other
Actually.
planes.
Right, but if we're in the other timeline, if it's somehow tethered to this place, if
Well, I guess I could
Yeah.
try it.
I mean, you'll know. I mean, if we're not there and you send a message, so
I guess.
that will
Yeah.
prove that theory pretty quickly.
All right. But you got your list. Now get
Yes,
out of my house.
thank you.
It's bedtime.
Of course. Thank you very much.
on the way out, do you know anything about blade singing? If I could ever find you later on it, or do you ever study that?
No, I don't use a blade. That's dumb.
This is definitely another timeline.
You know, there's actually some other perks outside of just the blade.
All right.
Get
That was
out
it.
of my
But
house.
for another
I'm
time.
done.
For another
I'm
time.
tired.
Let's
I'm
go.
getting cranky. It's time to go.
All right, we're leaving. This is as I'm leaving. Yep. Just it's not that
Like tugging
stupid.
I'm tugging on his sleeve, like, let's go.
No, I mean I'm just saying it's actually finding a reputation among what's it's like going down the stairs.
She's tugging his arm the
You
whole
should
way.
probably give it another chance to look at. I'm just saying.
So you walk back down the stairs out of his office to the circle that's on that floor below, and you get in. Come on, let's go.
They're not stairs.
Shh, stairs. Get in.
Get in.
All right, everyone in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So quickly we go back to the other timeline.
I know. Ooh.
He does teleport. You guys feel that mishap energy actually happen again as he does this. Let me see what happens.
Really wonder if there's just a worst case scenario that just like everything blows up.
All right. So he you feel that energy kind of surge out from you guys as you feel that tingly sensation. But you guys arrive back on that like living room area, and he just just looks like he's like looking at his arms a little bit. And just, let's go out.
Like slightly buffer or something. What was this? Okay, anyway, so I'll just leave. Are they follow the guard like Alanis and
Oh yeah, everyone's following. Yeah.
Okay.
Out, and just like down the stairs as you guys walk down. No trumpet sound, unfortunately. But he doesn't come down. He just have a
Thank
good
you
night.
for
Goodbye,
your-
goodbye, goodbye, and
Thank you
just
for your time. Good night.
and he like leaves you, and you hear another whoosh of like the circle activate
I like
as
him. He's really cool.
Brel kind of pushes you towards the door. He's like, go on, out. He said out. Just like as you go. He opens the door
I'll
for
show
you
you.
as you go, and all right, go, scoot, get along.
I'll like get like one last look at Alanis as I'm leaving.
She is staring daggers at you.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh no.
And they close the door. And you guys are left on the stone steps of this tower outside of it. I'm assuming you guys plan to head back to Yellowfield?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That was fun.
Very interesting.
Eleanor, I apologize yet again
For
for
what?
most of what I've ever done to you. I've witnessed
Oh.
it firsthand this time. I get it.
Davril, that is very sweet.
Not saying I'm gonna
And-
fully change, but I'll try. I'll work on it.
Very appreciated.
See, that's
yes.
the kind of wizard I don't want to become.
Mm.
I mean, like, not in skill set. I think he's actually
He's
like
brilliant.
a hero.
Yes.
Social skills are important.
Social skills. Yes. He means well. I'm not angry, but
Right.
word would reach her
definitely
ears
thought that-
anyway. We can start
Sorry.
walking back while we're talking, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That way.
I definitely thought that he would be more concerned, or like we would be able to stop him maybe from blowing himself up, but I don't think us telling him would probably make any
It will not.
difference on his behavior. So, oops.
To be fair, a lot of, not all, but there's a tendency for those that seek to push the limits of what wizards can do, and I think that's a shared example of a risk worth taking, of things like that. I think it's something that was very pronounced in the group that I was with, so.
If Stevens wasn't concerned with trying to repair this, I think I would push a little harder for him to be careful. But he seems like he's experimenting for the right reasons in this case.
Yes. Well, he is our best lead at any sort of solution for this. So, I mean, we'll need to talk about even what we want to do next, because there are many things that are on a timetable and many ways to prioritize this, and I'm not quite sure. Also, I don't know if Alanis will try to kill me or not now, so let's watch out.
Would she try and kill you?
I don't know.
Lots
of people try to kill me now.
She wasn't happy with what she learned, so I think we should take watches over.
I would hope to be able to reason with her, but I'm not sure if that is possible. So we'll see.
I don't think we're in
Even
a
if we're
position to
technically-
assume at this point.
Even if we're helping her employer, though, like, would she be allowed to try and hurt you?
Well, he asked her not to, so if she wants to keep her job, I would assume maybe not kill. I would hope, but we don't know. I don't know how much her allegiance is versus her job. I don't know how much she feels like she must do something about it. Or it may just be, maybe she wants to threaten me, maybe she's just going to keep an eye on me. I don't know. But just, we'll just have to keep a lookout, I think, while we're here. And in future interactions with her.
As you guys are walking back, I'm gonna roll a d4. 2. That's you, Winnie. You sneeze, and as you sneeze, 10 pieces of gold like shoot out of your nose and land on the ground in front of you.
What?
So thank you for the raid,
Ow!
Architects of Fate. Thank you so much for that raid.
way to...
It's like pop out of your nose. These 10 pieces of gold lying on the ground in front of you.
Oh, Winifred.
She'll look really horrified and start, like, digging up her nose further to try and see if there's something stuck in there. But then, like, is just panicking.
Yeah. Oh no.
Are you all right?
Magic trick.
I mean, we should probably clean these off, though, and still use them, right? We can just throw them away. That'd be... I'll clean them. And she'll start, like, cleaning them off. I don't think anything in them, but just making sure they're, like, sanitized, you know? So no one wants to touch nose and gold.
Nose gold.
Are you alright?
Rose gold.
Nose
Nose
gold.
gold.
The old nose gold.
The old classic
That nose
gold.
rose gold. I mean, Eleanor could clean it off too with magic if we need that later. I feel that.
Well, it's not even like gross. I just don't want to give someone stuff that's touched my nose, so I'm just trying to be polite. There's
Yeah, did
nothing
you
on
feel
it.
that come out of the nose, or was it just like at the entrance?
I don't know. I just sneezed and it just kind of happened. So I don't know.
A lot of logistics I'm curious about. All right.
Now I'm worried. Do you think it's gonna happen again? Is this a mishap?
I hope so.
It's
We'll be
10 more
rich.
gold. Yes.
Oh, that would be good actually.
With allergies during the spring, it'd be good for all the year.
Kind of horrifying.
Doesn't look like anyone's following us.
Give me a perception roll.
4.
Nope. No one's following you.
I was gonna say, I was going to look behind us as we get to like the inn if we're planning on staying
Okay.
there.
You can do it with disadvantage.
Same.
Because it's dark.
Okay. Okay.
I got a 14, so I was looking around too. That's
Okay.
cool.
11.
that's good.
Yeah, you guys don't see anything.
Hmm.
All right. But yeah, time
Alright, now
you guys get back. We're gonna wrap up here unless there's something you really need to say before we end the session.
No, I can. If we want to start outside the door before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next
that's
session,
probably good.
that's fine.
Guess you guys are going to the
Sure.
Untamed Drinker. So
Yeah.
okay, cool. So you guys walk back into town. It's, again, about 10 minutes or so to get back there. And yeah,
We
well,
still feel that buzz at the same level.
as you guys left, the buzz fades more and more. It's still like slightly there as you're back in Yellowfield, but it's definitely gone down since you left
Okay.
the tower. Yeah, we will end there and see where we go from this point on. So we're gonna end the recording and then we'll raid somebody. So stick around for that. But thanks so much for watching. We love you guys. Bye.